February 26, 2024, 13-year-old Madeline Soto was reported missing by her mother, Jennifer Soto, and Jennifer's boyfriend, Stephan Stearns, from Kissimmee, Florida. 2 days later, on February 28th, the investigation took a dramatic turn when Stephan Stearns was arrested, identifying him as the primary suspect in Madeline's disappearance. Detectives, upon examining Stearns' phone, discovered unsettling images that showed that he has been assaulting Madeline since she was at least 8 years old. On March 1st, Madeline's remains were found off Old Hickory Tree Road in Osceola County. There is security camera video that shows Stearns dumping her belongings in an apartment complex dumpster. Further video depicts Stearns returning to the dumpster with Madeline's lifeless body visible in his car. Other video showed Stearns later that day near the location where her body was found. Investigators said that Madeline's mother, Jennifer, did not want to believe the allegations against Stearns, even when shown the images found on his phone. She told the officers that it was normal for Madeline to sleep in Stearns' bed. She has not been accused of any wrongdoing. Here follows the interviews with Jennifer and Madeline Soto's roommates, one interview with Nathalie and 2 with Angelica, as well as a phone call of Stearns with his parents while he is in jail.
Once again, thank you so much for, I don't know if I have the wrong phone number for you. I tried calling, left a message, but I don't know if I have the same number, but regardless, we're here. So once again, I'm Detective Morris. I'm the one that's the lead investigator in this case. And this is Reyes Soto. Didn't know if you spoke English or Spanish, so that's the reason I brought him, because he speaks Spanish. Are you comfortable speaking English to me? It sounds English. Like you, okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, so just for the record, I'm saying it is March 7, 2024. The time is 10:38 a.m. This is a reference to case number 24001896. And we are at, what's this address? Morris, Detective Reyes Soto. And spell your first name for me.
Nathalie.
You're kind of aware of what's going on with Jennifer Soto and her daughter Maddie and what happened with Madeline. I'm assuming you know.
I can tell you, because I've been super blinders. Mm-hmm. I know that something happened to Madeline, more than likely in the property. And that obviously, because a child's involved, naturally DCF, and there has, for the sake of Maddie, there has to be a deep investigation. Mm-hmm. That's as far as I know.
Okay.
So, because I don't talk to anybody about this, I've been really at home. My boss gave me the time off, so I've been just healing here.
Perfect. Keep doing that. This is a lot. And being that you were kind of close to the situation, it makes it that much worse for you, you know. So if you have family support and stuff like that, that is the best thing for you, you know. And if your boss is giving you time off, then it makes it even better. Yeah. If you're still getting paid, but it is what it is. So, all right, I'm just going to start kind of from the beginning. How did you and Jennifer become to know each other?
So I first met Stephanie Soto. She's my best friend.
Okay. Stephanie is Jennifer's sister, if I'm not
yes.
mistaken. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure we met in middle school, but we got really close in high school.
Okay.
And in getting close, you make family. I met her mom, and her stepdad, and her little sister, then met Jen. Mm-hmm. At some point, once we graduated, all 3 of us moved in together. And I think we lived together for maybe 9 months, 10 months. Between, I was 18 and 19. Mm-hmm. And then Jen got pregnant with Maddie, and then she moved out. And then we all took our separate lives, but we stayed close. And because we ended up having children the same age, we kept the kids together. Mm-hmm. So Maddie was one of my son's first friends.
Okay.
So, because my son is 12, Maddie's just turned 13. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, in that process of raising kids together, you kind of form a sisterhood. Mm-hmm. And with Jen, I always felt a little bit close because we shared just, similar struggles, with anxiety. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like she was able to share with me, I was able to share with her, just anxieties of motherhood sometimes, you know.
She's easy to talk to.
Yeah, and I felt like naturally me as a person, I'm very much like, I want my peoples to do good. Like, I don't want anybody around me to fail because that's a reflection of who you are. So even throughout this entire time, I've been helpful, like just trying to like help the family as much as I can. That's just the personality that I am. So I kind of gravitated to her because I felt like she needed that too, you know? So at some point, I needed a place to stay. I was, having lived on your own and then having to come back home. You crave wanting to have your own space at some point. And Jen had the room available, and I still happened to be a master, so I don't have to share a bathroom with anybody. And that's how we get to the point where I'm there. But our friendship spans from like since I first met her.
Gotcha.
We just kind of like developed that because I was best friends with her sister. We never, till this day, like she was her sister.
When did you move into the place in Venetian Bay?
2000. I feel like I almost made it 2 years. In January, it would have been 2 years.
Okay, so 2022-ish? Okay. When you moved in, who all was living in the house?
Jen, Maddie. There was and I never call her name. I'm very much like in my own world always. But she was like an older lady, maybe like 30. I'm sorry. I forget how old I am sometimes. Sorry. But she was like maybe 39. But 2 years ago, I was moved in. I was 2 years. So I was 32. So she kind of seemed older to me. But she was always to herself, hardworking. And then Angelica, which she lived right next to me. And then myself. So we have 4 females, essentially.
Okay.
Lived together.
At any point between 2022 and now, did anybody move out and move in?
The older lady,
okay,
she moved out.
Do you know roughly when?
I want to say like 6 months after, like between 6 or 7 months after.
After you moved in? Okay.
Yeah.
So summertime of 2022-ish.
Yes, I mean, because we didn't live with her for too long after I moved in.
Okay.
And I'm thinking the span of 2 years, right? So it had to have been within the 6 months that she left.
Okay. So she moves out. Does anybody move into her room?
No. I think that they wanted to keep it open to possibly rent it out. As much as I wanted to rent it out for my son, it just wasn't something that I could do at the moment.
Gotcha. Now, I know because I've been inside the house or condo, townhome, whatever you want to call it, and I see bedrooms are numbered. So downstairs is the master bedroom. Then upstairs is 2, 3, and 4. So what number were you staying in?
2.
Okay.
Corner right, corner left with the master bathroom.
And recently, so within the last few months, Angelica was still staying there. Do you know what room she was staying in?
Next to me, so I think she was number 3.
Okay.
Pretty sure. She was to my, when you come in, she was my right.
Okay, and was anybody staying in number 4?
So, once this lady moved out, they had it open for a good amount of time. And then, so within, I want to say the time that this lady moved out, at some point, Stephan moves in. And the reason why, so like Stephan, for like the last 5 to 7 years, I want to say, has been like, he was part of the furniture type shit. Like he was in the surroundings. So like, seeing him move in wasn't something that like, because at that point I had known about him and seen him, like it didn't seem like a big deal. I mind my business, right? Like I do my due diligence for me and my son. I can only ask that for like, the people around me. So in that situation, because he never came at me at all with anything. I didn't. I stayed in my business. I stayed in my little corner. He stayed downstairs. And then at some point they break up, or they have something, some type of issue. He needs his space or whatever the fuck. He moves upstairs.
Okay.
So, and I want to say he lived upstairs for like maybe 3 or 4 months, and then at some point he leaves. Once he leaves, I don't know what happens once he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start seeing him come back around just to like visit. And again, I mind my business. I'm in and out. I see him like, yo, what's up? Jen, you good? We keep it moving. Like, that was just like the everyday life, right? Like that was it. So once he starts, at some point, I guess, at some point I didn't even know he was here. Like I had no idea, but that room ends up being used for him to be able to be there and help her if like she needed help with the dogs or something like that. Again, what I'm saying now, it's what pretty much, because I didn't understand why he was here. Like I didn't know he was here. So by the time I'm being told that Maddie is gone, I'm like, well, what do you mean? Who dropped her off at school? Stephan. Okay, well, what the fuck is Stephan here? Oh yeah, he stayed there overnight. I was like, what the fuck? But anyways, so like at some point, I guess because it was open, then that allowed him to be able to have somewhere to stay with, I guess, when he was trying to help Jen with the dogs, something like that. But the point is, within the time that I stayed there, he lived upstairs for like 4 months, and then he dipped out. At any point, if they used that for him to stay at some point, if I didn't see him downstairs, I didn't know, because I was just in and out. But from what I remember, he stayed there for 4 months, and then he left.
Okay. So before we dive into that dynamic, relationship-wise, so what was your relationship with Angelica?
So Angelica's a very nice person. She's a very cordial person. You can tell that that she comes from like a family that taught her like about her culture.
Mm-hmm.
She would cook a lot. And like, I'm not the best cook, so like I like to learn and I like to see, and especially if the food smells good, me and my son are there, you know?
Yeah.
So it ends up being like a little bit of like, because Maddie was downstairs, we ended up kind of watching her cooking together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's as far as it really goes, because again, you know, I'm an operation manager. I work between 40 to 50 hours a week.
Where do you work at?
It's called Integrity Reconstruction and Roofing. So we work in like plumbing and service industry, like the service, like plumbing industry.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to people's houses and
Gotcha.
yeah, like fix their plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I pretty much run like 3 different departments.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just always like in and out. But as far as like every time I talked to her, it was really pleasant, hi and bye. If I sat down and spoke to her, it was like we had like a Valentine's Day type of situation, because like we were all like at that point single, and like it's, especially for her, she doesn't really have anybody out here, so like we just try to do something special together. And I get to know her and her situation, but it wasn't anything like, I'm not like, even to now, if I check in with her, it's just to make sure she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like, am I talking to her every day? I never really spoke to her every day. If I spoke to her, because I saw her in the kitchen cooking, essentially.
So when you would live there, you said a majority of your time was spent in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Any point that you would hang out in the living room? I know some of the living room was partitioned off for Maddie.
Yeah.
Did everybody kind of gather around the living room, or did everybody pretty much stay themselves in their room?
So, if we gathered, it was because either like I was cooking and Jeremiah and Maddie were watching me cook. Or we were having a birthday get together or Easter get together. Like we try our best to keep the kids together throughout the occasions, just because all of us are so busy throughout the week. And when I mean us, I mean like the group of kids. It was Maddie, Aloysia, and Jeremiah. You know what I'm saying? So like those were the kids that were typically together, and Aloysia's sister.
Who's Aloysia?
It's Stephanie's daughter.
I gotcha. Okay. Yep.
So those were the moments that we would really congregate around that area. But as far as on a day-to-day, I was mostly upstairs. Because if we were home, it's because we had finished going to school, picking up the groceries, taking my son to therapy. The errands of the day were done, and our time to kind of like calm down, start our night routines. That's the time that we were pretty much home. Is during the time that we're settling down, going to sleep. Because then the next morning we're back outside. Either whether it's the weekend, we're out, or either walking, hiking in the lakes, trying to keep ourselves busy. If I was home, it was momentarily take a nap, get ready, be out again, parents' house. So I just intentionally for my son, I try to keep myself really busy, because I work so much throughout the week.
Gotcha.
So if there wasn't really, in my eyes, the only time that we were really downstairs were when we were celebrating something or having like a special like little event or get together for the kids.
All right. So Stephan, how long? Okay, so you've lived there 2 years. Was Stephan already living there at the time, or?
So I know, and like I said, he was very much, it seemed like he was part of the furniture type. Like, he was just around for so long in the background that, like, I want to say that when I started living there, he was already, like, if he wasn't moved in, he was already, like, settled in type.
Would it fair to say that he was already established there? Like, clothes and... I think so, like belongings, but like really in her life, yes. Like like he, believe me, like, and it's so weird knowing just the all little stuff that I know now because you're around someone for so long, and it's like you don't really ever know anybody like at all. But anyways, unfortunately, seeing him wasn't something. Like I said, he was part of the background. What was your relationship with him?
So, I don't, like, my only issue with him really was that throughout the time of, if they ever had like a fight or a breakup, the venting that I received from Jen was that, you know, he didn't provide at all, and he didn't, like... So, I mean, I have my expectations for someone that I'm with, and, like, we share those expectations, me and Jen, and he just wasn't living up to that. And it was mostly because of whatever mental health stuff. Listen, everybody has a mental health. I don't want to judge anybody, but those still got to get paid. And that was always my issue. And when I don't like to be ingenuine, so when I feel that way, I keep you at, like, an arm's length. Like, I don't really... get close to you like that. Like, if I can't really fucks with you like that, like, I'm not really around you being fake like that. So that was how I kept him. And again, very much part of like the scenery. Like, gotcha. He didn't stand out to me. Like,
would you consider him a friend?
No.
Okay.
No, because I never spoke to him outside of the hi and bye. I never had his number. If I know anything about him, it's because Jen would vent to me the issues that they would have as a couple.
What kind of issues would they have?
It's that. It's the having to... He was at the house and like... Because he lived there longer than I did, for sure. So, just not bringing in money of his own, really. Not being able to hold... a job and really whatever mental health issues he had being that the crutch of why he can't do and operate.
Now, did you form this opinion prior to all of this happening within the last week, or have you talked to Jen and you kind of came up with the same?
They've been together for they were together for 5 or 7 years between that, and this is feedback from all these years.
Okay.
So once we started living together, the venting, there was no communication in regards to the relationship, just because once you start living together, I want to be able to hold the peace, and she does too, and it's hard to let someone in when you live with them like that. I don't want, if she ever needed to talk to me about anything, I know that she would. But when we started living together, we didn't talk as much as when we did when we didn't live together. I would see her every day. If we took the kids to the pool, then we had maybe 15, 20 minutes to catch up while the kids were at the pool. But we wouldn't really talk about Stephan. I think it came to a point where she had talked and vented so much to me when they finally broke up, that
other than, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but did she come out and tell you the reason that they were breaking up is because he's not providing, or were there other reasons?
That was pretty much I think they were fighting a lot. And
what would they fight over? Do you know?
I don't know specific details. I just know that sometimes I would hear them fighting, yelling. But I couldn't really hear specific details. And then, I said, she really stopped talking to me once they got back together, because I think she felt kind of weird, her talking so much shit to me about him breaking up and then at some point getting back together. She didn't really even tell us that they were back together, to be honest with you. So at some point within the 2 years of me living there, she stopped really venting to me about Stephan and about the relationship. If there was really any issues of wanting to get a job, and I was really proud of her, because she ended up having the job at the Disney concierge, and she was doing super well in that mental aspect. But it wasn't really about Stephan. It was more about personal, having to, maintain this job, because she's never really been able to maintain a really good, stable job herself because of her own issues. So she was really excited about this, and those were the type of conversations that we were trying to have, just to kind of stay positive. But I know that the biggest issue that she would tell me when she was venting to me was about him not being able to provide. I think at some point, once he started working, he would spend money on stupid shit. It was always very financial, the issue that she would vent to me.
Gotcha. How was... All right, so when they broke up and got back together, when roughly was that? Do you remember? The last couple of weeks, months, year?
No. He had moved out. He had been out the house, because remember, he went upstairs for maybe 4 months, and then he had been out the house already for I think between 7 or 8 months before I started seeing him again. It was I want to say between 6 or 8 months before I started seeing him again.
All right, so within the last couple months, say December of last year up until now, how often do you think you would see him?
Maybe a total of 3 times, maybe. I think.
Anything significant why he would be coming back? Or just random times? Or
I think the first 2 times I was I believe he just would stop by. I want to say.
Did Jen say why he would come by?
No, if I saw him, it was because I saw literally physically saw him, like sitting in the chair where he used to sit, and I like again just hey, good Jen, good, and then just go upstairs.
Okay. All right. What's your work schedule like throughout? Like, is it pretty consistent or?
Yeah, I have to be because I go by my son's schedule.
Oh, okay.
So I try to be out the house between 7:45. Well, I have to be out the house by 7:50, but like 7:45 is the time that I'm trying to like be out, and from there, I drop my son off here so that my parents can take him to school. He needs to be at school by 9, and I start work at 9.
Gotcha.
So I'm typically here between 8:15 and 8:20, and then it takes me about 30-40 minutes to get to work, depending on traffic. I work in Ocoee, the office in Ocoee. So I'm there until Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm there between 9. I get there and 3:30. On Wednesdays, I'm there between 9 and 2:30 because Wednesday's early day.
Early day, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he goes to the street right down school right down the street. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the office work. Once I'm done with that, we either have dinner here or I make something at home. So we could be home between, and that's like, let's say if I don't have to pick anything up, we're home between 6 and 7. We're home between 6 and 7. I finish like an hour of work. He finishes his homework. Then we start getting ready for bed, and we're tucked in by 8:30. I either fall asleep with him, or I stay up watching TV and finishing work until I fall asleep.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm gonna now dig into kind of more detailed information. But before I start that, I know you and Jen are friends. You and Stephan aren't necessarily friends. You and Angelica are kind of acquaintances too. And these type of investigations and the seriousness of some of these crimes, we need to get very, very detailed on specific things. Okay. I'm not going to ask you any uncomfortable things, which I don't think are uncomfortable. If you don't feel comfortable at answering some of the things, just let me know, and we can see if we can work around it. Okay. All right. So when the weekend of February 25th, 26th ish. So let's say that's Saturday. So we could go from Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. You were still staying at the townhome? Is that what you want to call it?
The townhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were still staying there, I'm assuming. Living there, I guess you could.
Saturday, before everything happened, or yes, I was still living there up to recently.
Okay.
I moved out because I don't want to be in that house.
Right. Okay, so that's Saturday. Walk me through Saturday.
Okay. I want to say Saturday the 20. Can I check to see the tickets for?
Yeah, absolutely.
My son likes anime, and a new Demon Slayer movie came out. I just don't know if it was that weekend or the last weekend. These last couple of days have been like one blur. Okay, so today is what day?
Today,
the 7th. Okay.
that Saturday would have been the 24th. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the 24th. Correct.
The Saturday was the 24th, which means I had tickets to go to South Chase at 7:20. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we were watching this movie at the South Chase Theater.
Okay, in the evening of the Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were there for 2 hours, starting at 7. Well, it's like an hour and 45 minutes. I was starting at 7:30.
Okay. During the day, were you at home?
Let me think that day. Because we had a late evening, I believe. I'm just trying to think because we're always like in and out.
Mm-hmm.
If I was home between we left by 6:15. So from 6, okay. Because was that Sunday? No. I'm trying to think because we went to Lake Eola. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up my financials. I pay everything with cards, so.
I don't think anybody pays cash for anything nowadays.
There's some places that don't even accept it. It's kind of scary. Okay, the 24th. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I don't have anything on that day, so that means we went. Could we have gone that day?
So did anything as significant happen on Saturday that you could think of other than...
No, we were really just getting ready for this movie. I know that I at some point wished Maddie a happy belated birthday. I don't remember if that was Friday or Saturday, but I remember that because I felt bad because I had missed her birthday. But no, like we probably woke up early. I don't have any transactions, meaning we went for a walk. Came home, took a shower, started doing like my stuff that I typically do on Saturday nights. I was doing it before, so like that we can be ready for the movie. But nothing seemed out of normal.
Okay. Now Sunday, you see the movie Saturday night. Do you go back home Saturday night, or did you come here?
No. I
Come back home. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sunday, walk me through Sunday. What you did that day?
Pretty sure we went to the Lake Eola Park.
Morning, afternoon,
In the
evening?
morning.
Okay.
Yeah. They have, I think you guys know, they have like a market, a farmer's market. So there was this, he didn't like anything at the farmer's market, and he saw sushi on the way there. So we wanted to stop by sushi. We ate, we were there until I want to say 12:30, 1 o'clock. And then we started heading back home. I'm trying to think. The moment that like, okay, let me think.
So I'll just try to help you out a little bit. When you get home, is anybody home?
No, I got home a little bit on the earlier side because we had gone out so early, and we had been walking around, so my son was tired, and we kind of just ended up staying home by like by 6:30. Like we're watching a movie, snuggled up. By again 8 o'clock, he's knocking out, and my Mondays are always really hard, so I try to get some sleep before. But like I didn't see anybody there when I got there.
At any point that night, did anybody come home that you know of?
I never really like I always keep the TV so loud, which I'm not doing anymore. But no, in my little corner, I never really like paid attention, I guess. But no, I once my son falls asleep, like I can rest and like I just kind of knock out or go into my own little world.
Do you keep your TV on all night?
I have a really bad habit, yeah.
Okay. All right. At any point on Sunday evening, Sunday night, Did you see Angelica, Jen, Maddie, or Stephan at all?
No.
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 Okay.
I didn't even know Stephan was here.
Okay. So Monday morning when you wake up, you said you are adamant that you got to leave by 7:45.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your routine, I know there's a bathroom upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessarily attached to your room, right? You got to come out of your bedroom to go to the bathroom?
No, it's inside.
And, okay, so yours is
It's
inside.
a master.
Got it. Okay. So your routine is get up, you do whatever in the bathroom, come out, get changed, get your son ready, and you guys go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when you go and you're leaving your bedroom, did you see anybody that morning?
No.
Okay. Did you hear anybody that morning?
No.
Okay. When you were coming out of your room, you have to pass bedrooms 3 and 4. Is that right? Okay. Were either of their doors open?
No.
So they were closed, or you don't know?
They were closed.
Okay. When you walked downstairs and you were going out to leave, was Jen's dog wandering around anywhere?
Jen's dog is typically sleeping next to the couch.
Okay.
But I don't remember seeing him.
Okay.
I usually see him on the couch. So if I tell you I saw, it's because I typically see him on the couch. But I can't really say if I remember seeing him.
Now, when you leave, do you remember if Jen's door was open or closed?
Her door's always closed, with this much of space, so that the cat can come out.
Okay. Do you happen to look, be nosy or whatever it may be, and you can look towards that to see if the door is open, or could you see anybody inside, hear anybody inside?
No, it was like any other morning.
Okay.
And I just
leave. Okay. And how confident are you that you left around 7:45 that morning?
I have a meeting first thing in the morning on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. I can tell you because my boss typically texts me, and if I'm waiting outside for a parking spot, it's always around 9:05.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because it was Monday, I'm up and I had been sleeping late. Okay. Yeah, I had to have left on time because I was at work on time.
Okay. Now, when you say you're leaving on time, you're leaving right at 7:45 or before that?
Right at 7:45.
Okay. Did anything seem out of place downstairs? Did you see something that may be on a counter or a table or anything that you don't really see on a daily basis?
No. The table is typically cluttered with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Valentine's Day stuff or whatever arts Maddie was doing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't feel any different. It felt like just another day.
Okay. All right, let's get into Maddie. Anytime when you would leave to go to school, have you ever seen Maddie getting ready in the morning for school or anything like that?
So Maddie typically wakes up when I'm about to head out.
Mm-hmm.
I make my son's lunches. So I'm downstairs by 7:40 making lunches. And sometimes I would see Maddie get up, but then sometimes she was late. So it was really yes and no. And then I think that there were times where she may have been sleeping over her grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
So
where would Maddie typically sleep?
in her room.
In the little partition
area.
area. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever seen Maddie get ready for school or anything like that?
No, I think she would get ready in her mom's room.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if I'm downstairs, it's for that moment, and then I go back upstairs.
All right. Do you know, or if you have you ever talked to either Maddie or Jen, when Maddie gets ready for school, like when she would get dressed for school, if you know or if you heard, would she just go in her closet, pick out what she's going to wear for the day, or do you know how that would work?
So, not really, because I wasn't involved with like I wasn't in Jen's room watching her get her daughter's stuff ready to know. I know, what I do know is that Maddie loved clothes and she loved looking nice, and I can imagine that she would pick out her own clothes. I don't see Jen being the one picking out her clothes.
Do you think Maddie would lay out her clothes the day before to go to school? Or?
I would see her being that type of person. Have I ever seen it? No. But Maddie liked clothes. And I say that because she would we had that in common. Like, I would go downstairs and like try something on for her.
Where would she normally keep her clothes?
She had I call it a bureau, but it's a drawers, where the TV was. And I want to say she had little drawers on the side, like little plastic ones. I think she may have some stuff in Jen's closet. I don't know, but I want to say that's where she had her clothes, because she had like a whole drawer set in her room, in her little partition area.
So when you would leave to go to work or make breakfast or make lunches downstairs, where would Maddie typically be?
In her mom's room at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever see her sleeping in her own bed that's down there?
I mean, I've seen her a lot in that area. A lot of the times that I was down there, it was throughout the daytime. If it was into the evening, she would be like on her computer. But no, I mean, no, I guess she had the area closed off too, so I guess I never really saw her tuck in. Like, I was always like in and out. I mean, she would be in there all the time. But as far as like a full night's sleep, I guess I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Did they ever talk about if Maddie would sleep with Jen?
I mean, I want to say yeah. Because their alarm, whenever Maddie's alarm would go off, it would go off in her mom's room.
Do you know roughly what time her alarm would go off?
Like 7:40, like 7:35, 7:40.
Okay.
Only because I heard it. And that's around the time that I'm getting ready to leave.
Got it. Okay. And typically Maddie would be in mom's room.
Whenever, yeah. Like in the mornings, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever known, before I answer that, what was the relationship between Stephan and Maddie?
I always saw him because they had been in each other's, like, and he had been in Jen's life for such a long time. I always kind of felt like that was a father figure to her. I say that, like, I say that really brokenhearted right now, but that's the way I saw it. Like, I saw him, making food and like taking out the dogs, taking out the trash, and like being that type of person in that, like, that type of role in their lives. I think that there wasn't a moment where I felt like he could ever hurt her.
So when Maddie's alarm clock would go off when she's getting ready for school, and you're saying she's sleeping with mom, would Stephan also be in the room?
So for the last couple months, like, I didn't even know they were together, because if he was there, it was for that moment. Like, he wasn't staying overnight. like in the last couple of months where I would hear the alarm ringing, Jen was by herself. Jen would sleep with Maddie because Jen didn't like to sleep by herself. But as far as when he was living there, they made that whole area for her so that she can sleep there. I never ever thought she wasn't sleeping there while they were together because they had made that whole area for her. When these last couple months that I've noticed Maddie sleeping in Jen's room is because she was by herself. It never occurred to me that if they were ever in the same bed together like that, because they had made this area for her. And at some point he was sleeping on the couch, so it's nuts.
At any point, did you ever see Stephan alone with Maddie?
There was only one time where I had sent a message to Jen. I want to say I couldn't sleep. I was going to the gym, and they were playing Atari. I heard them playing Atari, and the door was partially closed. And I texted Jen. I was like, "Hey, I just want to make sure you're okay with this because I grew up in a very different household. My dad doesn't play, so that's just the way I was raised." So I sent her a message. I was like, "Hey, are you good with this? Are you okay with her being in his room?"
So this is the room upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, those were around the time that they were broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what did Jen say?
I can pull it up, but I'm pretty sure it was thank you friend, you're good. To that, I can pull it up if you want me to pull it in.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
But that's the only time where I questioned anything really, because again, the way I was raised, we don't play that.
Have you and Jen communicated after all this happened?
After.
Anytime last week after Monday.
I've been heavily trying to help the family, help my best friend, and I'm not really I don't know how you console somebody that just lost a kid. I can't imagine how it feels. I don't ever want to know how it feels. The only thing I've spoken to her is just, I'm here. Whatever you need, getting clothes from her house, I'm here to help. That's as far as the communication with her, how it's been.
Did she ever tell you what happened?
I don't. I'm speaking to you coming from a place of not knowing anything. I've been very much affected by it because I myself, have a history of abuse. So, I always told myself that, I would protect myself and my son from this. So, it being so close to me, it's affected me in ways that I didn't think it would. I think if you click on it, it'll take you to that moment.
Did you have any other text messages between you and Jen about Maddie or Stephan or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. So Sunday night, going into Monday morning, Did anything stand out to you? Did you hear any noises? Did you hear anybody walking upstairs or downstairs? Or when's the first time you heard about Maddie going missing?
Stephanie called me, I think, around 6:30 Monday, asking me if Maddie had gone home because they were looking for her and she never made it to school. The moment that call came in, I went straight downstairs and I checked the bathroom, Jen's room, and her room.
Did you see anything that looked different to you?
It was weird because it was like everything was bundled up, and I don't know if this is how she typically like kept this shit.
When you're talking about her, is that Maddie or Jen?
Yes, Maddie.
Okay.
Maddie's bed. It was just bundled up like if somebody was there. So when I went to grab it, thinking maybe it was, it was a whole bunch of like clothes or like blankets rolled up.
Was that normal?
Maddie wasn't like always the most tidiest person, and she kept that partition pretty close to not be able to see it. Like Maddie struggled with like organization and stuff. But it was weird because I was looking, like at that point I'm looking for her and I see like clothes bundled up and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, it's her. Like, but no, I wouldn't be able to say if that's her usual thing or not. But it was just, to me at that moment, weird because like she's missing and this thing is bundled up, like if she's supposed to act like she's there or something like that, like it was just really weird at that point. But I mean, for me to sit back and think if she ever kept, like sometimes she didn't do her bed. She always had pillows like all over her bed. Should have paid more attention.
When you left, do you know what kind of car Stephan drives, Stephan?
So I end up finding out he's driving this, well, I don't know if it's Lincoln or whatever, but from when I've known him to the last time that I thought I saw him before this whole thing, it was a brown Honda Civic 4-door. And it had like a bump on the front.
Okay. When you left, do you know what Jennifer drives?
Yes.
Okay. The white Nissan. Okay. When you left Monday morning, did you see those cars outside?
I don't remember if I saw her car. So typically she parks in the handicap next, like right there. But there's been a van parking there. And like, oh my God. I don't remember if I saw her car or not.
What about Stephan's car?
I didn't see the Honda because apparently he wasn't in the Honda.
Do you remember seeing the silver car? The Lincoln?
No, I don't remember because I've never seen that car before. And I wouldn't, like it wouldn't stand out to me. I don't like that car.
Alright, circling back to, so Stephan is pretty much living at this house up until, according to you, 6-8 months ago. Now, did you ever see Maddie coming and going from his room or Jen's room? I know you said the only time that you've known them to be together is when you text Jennifer about that time. Is there any other times that you would see them together?
No, it was always like they were always like the three of them. Like it wasn't. No, and I'm thinking like these last 2 years, right? Like if I ever saw Maddie was either with Jen or she had just came from like going out with her grandpa or being with like Aloysia and like if he was there, they were there together.
All right. Did you hear about the birthday party Sunday?
I ended up hearing about it, but I wasn't invited because there was like super close family only.
Okay.
But I ended up.
Did Jen
hearing
go
about
to the
it.
party?
I think she was working.
Okay.
I think she was working.
This is the job that she's working at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jen, do you know if she takes any medication?
I believe she's depressed. I want to say it's either bipolar or ADHD or a combination. Mm-hmm. But she does take prescribed medication from her feedback to me throughout the years.
Gotcha. Has she ever tell you like how this medicine affects her?
I know that she struggled for a little bit trying to find like a good medication for her because it would affect either her appetite or her sleeping. She would feel really drowsy. Mm-hmm. She struggled a little bit there. I believe she got with a really good therapist that like really understood her and got her on something that she was able to work with. Because I feel like she was doing better. Like she got this job and she was feeling really good.
All right. Has she ever said any kind of medicine that she takes would either keep her awake or put her to sleep or anything like that?
Yeah, there was medication that would just make her feel super drowsy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that recently or in the past? Or?
It was when she was struggling a lot with it. There was a night where somebody was trying to get into her car. Like, it was super random. And I was, again, heading to the gym, like, at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I see it, and, like, I'm like, oh, like, I'm crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm like, I deterred them from actually breaking in. And I went inside, and I was like, Jen! And, like, she was super, super sleepy. And she had mentioned to me that there was a medication that, like, made her feel super sleepy.
When was this?
That was, like, oh, my God. Stephan was still living upstairs because he had came down and he was like, I'm going to drive around just to make sure they're out. I was like, all right, bet. But Stephan was still there.
Okay. Did Maddie take any medication? Do you know?
I think she needed help, like, sleeping because there was medication that she needed in order to have, like, a good night's sleep. Mm-hmm. I believe, according to her, like, the feedback that I've received throughout the years, that she does have, like, ADHD. Mm-hmm. So she does need something for focus. But those were the only two that I understood as far as from her feedback.
Did Maddie or Jen ever talk to you about the medicine that Maddie takes?
Not in detail, like, as far as the name of it or anything like that. I just know that she would vent if, like, they missed it, and then she would feel the after effects of not being able to sleep or anything like that. Like, that's when we would talk about it. Mm-hmm. When it's like, oh man, like, I got to get Maddie back on the regimen because if not, like, she's not going to get sleep, things like that.
Gotcha.
But it was never, like, details as far as, like, I don't know what it was or anything like that.
Did Jennifer ever talk about Maddie to you at all?
Very general motherhood stuff. Nothing, like, super, like, it was always very much like, oh my God, school, and the kids growing up, and Maddie with her struggles and ADHD, and then my son is on the spectrum, so we kind of bonded over that, like, different, like, research stuff that, like, that's how we bonded, is because she's really good at that. She likes to know stuff, and I like to know people that know stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but it, like, teenage, like, attitudes, excited for trips type, trying to think, like, anything super, like, dramatic or anything, because there was never anything about, like, boyfriends or anything like that. Like, we still looked at the kids like babies, like kids. We would take them to the pool all the time. Mm-hmm. like let them kind of just chill. But
Did Maddie and Jen ever argue at all?
yeah, I mean, I think that they had their share of mother-daughter arguments. At least that's how I perceived it. Being that, like, a mom now and still a daughter, like, I always perceived it as that. I never heard anything that made me think it wasn't outside of that. But yeah, they would have their arguments.
All right. Now getting to the more difficult questions. It's always out on the news and stuff like that Stephan may have. Okay. What do you know about that? And here's where I want you to, as tough as it may be very detailed and truthful for me.
I never would have thought that. Like, I have my own trust issues, right? Because of my own experiences. And you think that you have like a good power of discernment and trying to like spot this shit out. I never thought that anything would be inappropriate. Like, if I ever saw him do anything, was just be like a fatherly figure in a way to her. It's deeply upsetting to think that. And like I said, I have my own reservations. I don't bring people around my son like that for my own reasons. I only trust that my friends do their due diligence with the people that bring around their kids, because obviously it affects us. But I would have never thought about like him really doing stuff with her like that. Like, I don't know, like, thinking about it, like, it just makes me feel stupid.
You can't blame yourself, though.
Sorry.
That's okay.
No, I wish I would have fucking like saw or something. I would have just paid more attention or something.
At any point, did Jennifer tell you that she may have known?
No. I mean, I'm very vocal, like, on the way I feel about stuff. And I'm thinking about our kids, man. No.
Have you ever told anybody outside of your family or Jen's family or anything like that that you may have known about?
No, I mean, I never would imagine that this would be happening. There was the text message that I showed you. Stephanie's my best friend. So I remember calling her and just letting her know, like, hey, I sent this message to your sister. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want beef. And if it creates beef or anything like that, or you never know how people are going to react when you tell them how to parent or anything like that. So I gave her a heads up because I wanted her to know, and I'm always very much open with my friends. So I had that exact same text message that you saw. That's exactly what I told her, and I told her what the Jen replied. But that's as far as like, because that's the only time where I even questioned anything, just because of the way that I feel about stuff. I have my own reservations. But yeah, I mean, no, that's it.
Okay. And the reason I ask is somebody called it, as you can imagine, this is a very high profile case. Okay. There's people reaching out from all over the country, whatever it may be. But somebody called in a tip to me saying that you may have told somebody that you knew what was going on. Okay. Promise.
This guy looked at me in my face, knowing everything that he did to Maddie. And he looked at me like if he had no idea. Like, this guy is a fucking monster, and I'll never forget that.
What do you mean he looked you in the face? When?
So we were trying to figure out what happened with Maddie. And like, I'm very I internalize a lot. So I'm sitting on the thing, on the stairs, and I'm just like, I'm in like a daze, because like it doesn't feel real. Like, it's just none of this is normal. And like, I stand up. I had to wake up early the next day because I had an appointment in Osceola County. So it was Monday night. Once everything starts like Maddie's lost. And I stand up and I tell Jen, like, just let me know how I can help tomorrow once I'm done with the meeting. Like, we'll pass out flyers. Like, we'll do everything we can to try to help him find her. And this man, like he looks at me in my eyes and tells me, like, are you okay? And I'm like, look at him, and I'm like, no. Like, I was like, no, like.
What was his demeanor?
Like, concerned, but he ended up getting like stupid high at some point throughout the night, so he was very numb. But
how do you know he was high throughout the night?
Because like the way his eyes were, like very zoned out. He was high on something. But like
Did you see him throughout the night?
He was literally there with us. Like, there.
This is Monday night, or what night is
Monday
this?
night.
Okay.
Yes, he's there. He's like acting concerned, and like me and Angelica are like Jen is in pieces, and like, no, sir, I promise you that I'm not gonna say this, but I don't like that shit, bro. Like, oh, fuck it, I'll kill him, bro. I would have killed him myself if I knew anything, dog. I promise you.
Did you see, other than I keep going back to Monday morning, and so when you were getting ready for your day, you didn't see or hear anybody. Do you remember what time you woke up?
At like 6:45. My son wakes up by 6:30. He's already in the shower by the time I wake up.
Have you talked to your son about this?
Very much. It's very light. My son's on the spectrum, so he takes things in very quickly, and like, not that he forgets about it, but he like compartmentalizes it and like keeps it moving. He's well aware, but the emotion side of it is a little bit disconnected, just because that's the way he kind of that's the way it kind of is. But
What do you think he would have went downstairs at any point before you did?
no.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. What kind of sleeper is he? Is he
Deep. Knocks out. Always been a good sleeper.
all right? So you wake up 6:45. You do your morning routine. Did you fix lunches and stuff like that day? Okay, and you didn't see anybody.
No.
So when you fix lunches, is that right before you guys walk out the door, or okay? So if you're leaving at 7:45, so 7:15, 7:30 fixing lunches, or
No, like 7:35 to 7:40. I'm downstairs. There's a quick sandwich. Everything else is like packaged. So I just grab everything, put it in there, go upstairs, get them out the door by 7:45.
okay,
So it's all within 10 minutes, pretty much.
okay. And you didn't see Stephen or Maddie at that point. Could you hear if any tussling around, if Maddie was getting ready for school, or if Stephen was getting ready to take Maddie to school or anything like that? Would you have heard it?
I mean, I was like, every time I saw Maddie, I would address her. I would say, "Good morning, babe. Good. How you doing? Like, you okay?" Like, if I would have seen Maddie, I would have addressed her. So yes, 100%.
Okay, so the times that you've heard Maddie maybe waking up or anything like that, is it noisy?
When the only reason like I see is because I see her coming out.
So, but Monday morning, dead silence, or
I didn't see her at all.
okay, dogs barking, cat meowing, anything?
No, at that time, Sailor is not barking. The cat is still typically in Jen's room.
Do you think Maddie was home when you left?
There had been days where like she had slept over her grandma's house. So to be honest with you, I didn't think she was home.
Have you ever known Maddie to say, "Hey, I want to go to school early"? No. Have you ever known Maddie to like fast food at all?
Fast food? Starbucks. Like if we ever went to McDonald's, we'd get some nuggets or McFlurries. I mean, it wouldn't be something like she would take. Like I have never seen her not be okay with fast food. Like it.
Yeah. Just like any kind of kid.
Right, right. Like it. Was it constant? No. I think that because we were always like downstairs cooking and stuff. I would think that Jen was cooking for her and stuff. But I mean, I think if she consumed fast food, it was fairly normal. It wasn't like out of the ordinary.
Have you ever heard Jen tell Maddie or anything like that she wanted Maddie to go sleep somewhere else so Jen could get a good night's sleep? No.
If Maddie was sleeping somewhere else, it's because either Jen had to work late or she was just sleeping over grandma's house. But I've never. No.
Have you ever known Maddie to sleep with Jen and Stephan in the same bed?
I've never known about that. I have had so many thoughts in my head since everything happened. I don't want to like confuse what I felt before with what I feel now. But no, like in my head, the way this went was that somebody was sleeping on the couch before they opened the partition area. They opened the partition area so that Maddie can sleep there. Like that's how things went in my head.
What is your gut telling you what happened?
it's very, very confusing, in the sense of like, because this man looked at me in my eyes with no, like acting like he didn't just do what he did. I feel very insecure. Just in general, the way I view people, I guess. Maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I was type. I just feel really insecure about everything because it just makes me feel like anything I ever knew was not right. Like if this was really going on, like, and we didn't see anything, like, that's how I feel. I feel a lot of guilt. Like, I feel like, man, were we just not paying attention? Like, I don't know. That's
Do you think Stephen had something to do with this?
What?
Do you think Stephan had anything to do with this?
Oh my God.
Taking the equation out, what you know now,
Right.
leading up to it.
Like, before everything went down, dude, I would have never thought that this would happen. I would have never thought that he was capable of doing anything to her.
Do you think Jennifer had anything to do with this?
No, bro. No. It's impossible, bro. No.
Why do you say that?
Because we're not like that. Like, we're not, dude. Like, we love our kids. Oh, that would break my heart.
I'm not saying she did. I'm just asking.
I know, but no, I can't see her. I can't see her being okay with this. No. I can't see her being okay with this. I can't see her allowing this to happen.
Have you seen any of the interviews on the news that Jennifer's done?
There was a snippet, and I literally came across it because it just appeared. I mean, I know Jen. I know, at least what I know of Jen is I know when she's nervous, right? I know when she's not okay. And what I saw there was someone that, and again, it's a snippet. I haven't seen all of them. I don't know how many she did. And I think that, I mean,
I've spoken to her several times already. Sometimes when we're speaking, she seems a little disconnected. Is that normal?
So a lot of, and maybe this was my mistake, but a lot of if there's any type of like disconnection, I would say would be because of the medication. Like if I ever felt like she was just like not like a little bit out there, I would always atone it to like the medication that she was on.
Is that quite often, or very rare, or?
I thought she was doing really well recently. No, like in the most recent months, me speaking to her, she was very clear, very cohesive, like communicating back, being happy in a sense, like in a better mood. No, I mean, and again, seeing her now, I atone that to either maybe over medicating or being severely depressed, or like it's not her normal self. But yeah, if there's ever been time in the past where I felt like we were having conversation and she was kind of out there, I thought it would be because of the medication.
Have you ever noticed any change in either Jen's demeanor or Maddie's demeanor when Stephan moved out? I would think that it was because of
them actually being broken up and her having her space and not having him upstairs, like, I do feel like it was a better mood, a better situation. Again, I saw her in like a better light, but
did she seem happier, sad, angry?
I think there was moments where she felt lonely, maybe. After being with someone for so long, I can't imagine breaking up and stuff and then having to be alone. But I would say that. I would say feel lonely. But all in all, I want to say it was like a good move. Like, it was a good thing. Like,
did Jennifer ever talk to you about her and Stephan's sex life at all?
No.
Did she ever talk to you about her sex life in general at all?
I mean, I know her like sexual orientation, right? But that's as far as like we talk in regards to that.
Okay.
I don't really honestly talk to my friends too much about that.
Makes sense.
Like super intimate, no. But we know each other's orientation and what we like.
Got it. Now, as for Jen, does she like boys or girls? Both?
Both.
Okay. Any idea about Stephan? Boys, girls, both?
I don't know.
No.
No.
Did Jen ever tell you that she's sexually active still?
No. If I would assume if she was, it would have been with Stephan. But I mean, we didn't talk about anybody new or anything like that. Like, as far as I know, she was on the Lonely Island. Like, we were all.
Has she ever told you that her sex drive is gone? Or anything like that?
So I think at some point she had mentioned that as far as like part of like the symptoms.
When did she mention this to you?
During the time that she was having a difficult time with her medication, trying to find something out. But it was very like it was just one of the symptoms. Like, we didn't go into it because again, we didn't really like, we don't go into like super sexual stuff.
Right. Gotcha. Is there anything that I need to know regarding this case that we haven't talked about today that you think?
No, if anything, I have questions. But
What questions do you have? Some may not be able to answer,
no,
but
I don't. I've been so like with blinders on, and I told myself that once I moved out of that place that I could like accept new information.
are you completely moved out? Like, all your stuff gone?
Yeah. I'm supposed to help Angelica between 1 or 2 to move out the rest of her stuff.
Because I need to talk to her again today too. And I keep calling her, and maybe because I leave messages in English, and she doesn't really speak much English.
Right, she doesn't. Yeah. Yes, I'm completely moved out, and I feel like I want information, but then no, then I get scared, and I don't want any information. No. I mean, whatever you need to really get justice for her. I mean, to really close it, whatever.
That's my job.
I wish I would. Fuck. I don't know anything.
I just want to make sure that 100%, because obviously when tips come in and mention you by name, I just want to make sure that you're being 100% honest with us. And even if you did, you're not going to get in trouble for not saying anything. It's just, we need to know those type of details. You know?
No, this was the only thing that I wanted to make sure.
Did you tell anybody about that message
It
other
was
than
only
the
Stephanie.
Okay.
And like, and like I said, that was mainly just me. Like, I always felt like, okay, I'll be like the double lookout, make sure the kids are good, like have extra eyes on the kids. Like, this is a situation that I would have never wanted my kid to go through. Like, I get how severely this can affect you in life, and like, thank God that my situation was resolved. But like, I never wanted our kids to be this close to this shit, and I feel like I always prided myself to be more like, to have like that third eye, like to look out for danger type shit, to like be protective of our kids, and like, it's very upsetting that anything that happened. Like, it, like I said, I'm really insecure right now. Like, I don't feel like everything that I've known in my life, like, I'm questioning.
Now, one quick question: that you say you sleep with the TV on all night, and it's loud or whatever. How do you hear your alarm?
I keep my phone like right next to me, and then my son wakes me up too.
Okay. All right. Can you think of anything else? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my cell phone number, okay? Mm-hmm. Feel free to call or text me anytime, day or night, if you can remember the slightest little detail that we did not talk about today. Mm-hmm. Would you mind please calling me or texting me and let me know, like, whatever that may be? Okay. We're going to, it is 12:03 p.m. We're going to conclude this interview. The date is February 29, 2024. The time is 7:33 p.m. We are at 4012 Santa Maria Drive. It's myself, Detective Morris, Sergeant Breuer. What's your first name?
Angelica.
And what's your last name?
I don't know what is in English, but Negro in Spanish.
El apellido.
Nigro.
Nigro. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces, her last name is pronounced Negro. It's Negro.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And your birthday? All right. So before we start, can you raise your right hand?
Antes que nosotros comenzamos, ¿puedes levantar tu mano derecha?
Mm-hmm.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
Las preguntas que te vamos a hacer, tú prometes que vas a decir la verdad y solamente la verdad para las preguntas que te vamos a hacer contra las leyes de los Estados Unidos y lo que te vamos a preguntar.
Sí,
para la habilidad de usted.
me lo prometo.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know... Yeah, do you know why we are here doing an investigation?
¿Tú sabes por qué la policía está aquí en el apartamento para investigar algo?
Por Mari.
We're here because
For Maddie.
Por Mari, ¿no?
Okay. Were you here Sunday night?
Sunday night, yes.
¿Estabas aquí la noche del domingo?
Sí.
Did you see Maddie that night?
No.
Did you see Jennifer?
No. Ella duerme... Voy a hablar en español.
Okay.
Jennifer toma medicamentos y ella cuando se lo toma queda dormida. O sea, muy profunda.
Jennifer takes medication, and when she takes the medication, she falls asleep, like, deeply.
Pues yo llegué del trabajo como a las 11:30.
¿De la noche o la mañana?
No, en la noche.
She came home from work at approximately 11:30 p.m.
Y abajo no escuché nada.
She didn't hear anything downstairs.
Yo vivo en la habitación 3.
She lives in number 3, apartment number 3, is that right?
Ok, y sí escuchaba cosas del cuarto que estaba al lado mío. Yo escuchaba como alguien despierto que coloca cosas como sonidos, pero no escuché nunca la voz de Mari.
So she heard noises coming from the bedroom next to her, like as if somebody was either moving around or setting things down, but she did not hear Maddie's voice.
Okay. Is that the room that Maddie was staying in?
¿Ese es el cuarto de donde la Mari se queda? ¿Donde tú escuchaste los ruidos?
No, Mari se queda en la habitación Jennifer.
Who do you think was in the room that was making noise?
¿Cómo?
¿Qué piensas que estaban adentro de esa habitación cuando escuchaste esos sonidos?
Stephan se quedó en esa habitación esta noche.
He's saying it was Stephen.
Okay. How long has she known Stephen?
¿Cuánto rato tú has conocido a Stephan?
I have 2 years and a half living in this house, and I think en ese mismo tiempo.
So she's been living here for about 2 years, so around the same time.
What's the relationship between him and Jennifer?
¿Tú puedes decir la relación que tiene Stephan con Jennifer? ¿Cómo son ellos contra ellos?
Stephan y Jennifer.
Y Jennifer, sí.
Ellos eran novios.
Sí, obviously they were boyfriend, girlfriend, pero ¿cómo actuaron todos los días? ¿Cómo hablaron contra ellos? Por ejemplo.
En todo ese tiempo
sí,
que estaban en su relación, bien.
Pero, por ejemplo, una pareja normal.
Al principio tenía muchas discusiones. Al principio sí tenía muchas discusiones, pero pues bueno, como toda relación, ¿no?
She said in the beginning that she observed a lot of discussions, como estaban discutiendo contra ellos en el principio, ¿me estás diciendo?
Sí, sí.
Like they were arguing a lot in the very beginning when she got here, but she said it was typical, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Did Jennifer ever talk to her about her and Stephan's intimate relationship?
Jennifer, ¿alguna vez confiado a usted o hablado contigo de las relaciones que ella tenía con Stephan, por ejemplo, sexuales?
¿O no?
¿Nunca?
No, la verdad no.
No.
Okay.
O al menos en el último tiempo, algo relacionado sexualmente, de repente que ya no en los últimos tiempos no tenían relación.
¿Ella te
sexual.
dijo que no tenían relaciones?
En los últimos tiempos, o sea, como en maybe 6 meses, ellos como que no tenían relación.
Pero
No
ella
estoy
te
segura,
dijo,
como que ya
¿ella
no
te
tenían.
dijo eso? ¿O
Eh,
tú pensabas eso?
O no, en algún momento ella llegó a decirme, Jennifer llegó a decirme que ellos ya casi no tenían relación.
So she's saying that in the last 6 months, at one point Jennifer did say, we don't have a sexual relationship.
Okay. What did what was the relationship between Stephen and Maddie?
¿Cómo era la relación contra Stephen y Maddie?
Bueno, esto me tiene a mí muy concernada porque yo veía que se querían mucho.
Como que se querían mucho.
Ellos, o sea, como una relación de padrastro-hija. Sí, o sea, yo...
She says that they were real close, almost like a, father-type-daughter relationship.
Did any of it seem inappropriate?
¿Alguna vez esta relación contra Stephen y Maddie era algo que no debería ser? Por ejemplo, algo no necesariamente ilegal, pero como no normal.
Nunca llegué a ver algo que no fuera normal.
No, she never witnessed any of that. That gave her that impression.
Okay. How did Stephen act towards her? Yeah.
Conmigo.
Sí, ¿cómo
estaba él conmigo?
Sí.
Muy poco, no sé, muy poco.
Pero cuando dices muy poco, como muy poco conversación.
Muy poca conversación.
O solamente era como hola, chao, very minimal,
very minimal, yes.
Hello, goodbye type of thing.
Any kind of flirting or anything like that towards her?
¿Alguna vez Stephan ha hablado contra usted, por ejemplo, como si quería preguntarte algo, como aquí lo dicen flirting?
Como de querer gusto.
Sí, como de querer gusto, sí. Pretenderme como un hombre a una mujer que tiene un interés.
No, porque yo siempre tuve mucho límite con él también.
No, because her contact with him was very limited.
Okay.
Sí.
All right, going back to Sunday night, going into Monday, did you hear any noises that you haven't heard before or anything out of the ordinary?
Empezando la noche del domingo, entrando a la madrugada del lunes, ¿tú escuchaste algunos sonidos que nunca has escuchado anteriormente?
No.
Entonces los sonidos que tú escuchaste en ese cuarto cuando llegaste de tu trabajo, ¿eran sonidos normales?
Para mí normales y bueno, luego me quedé dormida.
Ya, pero cuando tú dices normales, ¿como qué tipo de sonidos eran?
Como si tú pusieras cosas como que yo pongo el teléfono, como que suena así.
¿Y escuchaste alguna voz?
No.
So she's saying that she really didn't hear anything out of the ordinary. The noises she did hear was just somebody moving around, like they were putting some type of object on a dresser. It could be like a phone, but she never heard any voices. So,
Somebody putting something on, like
Cosas así.
like those type of noises, yeah, like a phone. You know.
Sí yo escuchaba cosas así, pero
but that would be kind of the phone that she would hear would be loud, right?
Pero el sonido que tú escuchaste, ¿era fuerte o era como un sonido normal? O?
No fuerte.
It wasn't loud at all. It was...
Okay. What time Monday did she leave the house? Did you leave the house?
I'm sorry. Tengo mucho frío.
¿Qué hora el lunes tú te fuiste a la casa?
Bueno, toda la mañana estuve yo con Stephan acá.
¿Con quién?
Con Stephan.
¿Tú estuviste?
¿Se dice en inglés Stephen?
Sí.
Ok. Yo me desperté como a las 9:30, 10 de la mañana.
El lunes.
El lunes.
Okay.
Y él estuvo aquí toda la mañana.
So she woke up around 9:30, close to 10 o'clock in the morning, and Stephen was already in here. ¿A qué hora fue eso?
Me desperté como a las 9:30.
9:30. ¿Y tú viste a Stephen adentro?
Sí. Mira, bajé, desayuné, él estaba ahí. Después subí a mi habitación y bueno, después bajé a almorzar, a prepararme mi comida para el almuerzo. Él estaba ahí.
So she's saying she woke up approximately 9:30 in the morning. She came down. She saw Stephen there. She made herself breakfast. She got ready. She went back upstairs. And then she came back downstairs for lunch, and he was still there.
Okay, how confident are you about this 9:30 time frame?
¿Cuánto cierto estás que fue como a esa hora, como a las 9:30 de la mañana? ¿Estás segura que fue a esa hora?
Segura no, porque la verdad yo no tengo el tiempo, no tengo como el tiempo
pero cuando
de que yo me despierte. Sí, como...
Entonces podía ser antes, podía ser después.
No, por eso te digo, aproximadamente como de 9:30 a 10. Y yo tomé mi desayuno como a las 10:30, 11.
Cuando tú tomaste el desayuno a las 10:30, 11, ¿tuviste el reloj? No sé.
Sí, yo estoy pendiente de mi reloj por mi trabajo. Tengo que alistarme, todo.
¿Ya viste el reloj en el teléfono?
Sí, yo estaba pendiente.
So she says it was approximately 9:30 when she got up. And then she says that around 10:30 in the morning when she was making herself breakfast, she was already doing things for work on her phone, so she saw the time. ¿Y tú viste a Stephen a esa hora?
Sí.
¿El lunes?
Sí.
So she says she saw Stephen, around that time.
Around the 10:30 time frame.
Como a las 10:30.
Sí.
Pero también dijiste que cuando te despertaste a las 9:30, 10, también lo viste.
Sí.
¿Y él estuvo aquí abajo?
Sí.
So she says that when she woke up at approximately...
Bueno, subía, bajaba, salía, volvía a entrar.
Okay,
Sí.
so when she woke up at approximately 9:30, she saw him downstairs, but he was going upstairs, downstairs, in and out of the apartment.
What was his demeanor like? Was he acting different or the same?
¿Cómo era como el genio de él? ¿Cómo estuvo normal? ¿Estuvo preocupado? ¿Él estuvo...?
Yo sentí diferente.
She noticed something was odd about him. ¿Cómo?
Diferente, o sea, por eso te digo que subía la escalera, entraba al cuarto de arriba, volvía a bajar. Escuché después como un taladro y yo...
¿Cómo que un taladro?
había un tal como herramientas.
Como, ¿qué tipo de herramientas?
Vi en la mesa después un martillo. Habían 3 herramientas, no recuerdo, pero una de esas era un martillo.
So she noticed that there was something odd about him because of the way he was like just moving around the house, and then she saw 3 tools on the table, one of them being a hammer. ¿Qué otros?
Escuché también como algo así en la mañana y me pareció también extraño.
Pero eso era un sonido de una herramienta.
Como si fuese una herramienta, pero no lo vi.
So she, when she was up, she heard like a tool, like somebody using a tool.
Como algo así, como no sé.
But she never physically saw it though.
Okay. But she saw a hammer.
Pero tú viste un martillo.
Sí.
¿Qué otros herramientas viste?
La verdad no recuerdo.
¿Algo eléctrico? ¿Algo grande? ¿Algo
No,
para...?
no, eran 3 herramientas allí en la mesa, o sea, 3 herramientas, pero de verdad no recuerdo en ese momento qué eran.
She doesn't know exactly what tools they were, pero
uno de ellos era un martillo.
But she's certain that one of them was a hammer.
Okay. Were they clean, dirty?
¿Eran sucio, limpio?
No, limpio.
Clean.
Okay. Did...
Estaba lavando ropa también,
¿Quién?
Stephan.
She says that Stephen was also washing clothes.
Él nunca lavaba ropa.
He says Stephen never washes clothes.
Does she remember what kind of clothes she was washing?
Just-
What color?
¿Tú sabes los colores o qué tipo de ropa fue que estuvo lavando?
No, la verdad no, hasta ahí no llego, pues no.
No.
Did he leave after that?
¿Él se fue de la casa después de eso?
No. Yo estuve acá, yo trabajaba a las 4 y yo salí de la casa como a las 3:40
¿Y él todavía estaba
y
aquí?
él estaba allí.
So she
Nos
went.
despedimos todo, yo me despedí de él y todo.
So she started work at 4 o'clock. She left the apartment at 3:40. He was still here. She said goodbye to him and everything.
Okay. Did he leave at any point before that?
¿Tú dijiste que él se fue del apartamento anteriormente cuando te despertaste hasta que te fuiste de la casa? ¿Él estuvo saliendo del apartamento?
Salía pero volvía a entrar. No sé si estaba aquí mismo, no sé si él estaba acá o si salía de la residencia porque yo no salgo a ver qué está haciendo él. ¿Sí me
Sí.
explico? Yo no...
Pero cuando él salió, ¿por cuánto rato él estuvo afuera?
No, unos 10 minutos volví a entrar. No puedo decirte.
So when he was in and out, it was kind of like short distances. She doesn't know exactly where he went because she wasn't keeping an eye. But
But he drove away.
él manejó.
No sé. hasta
She
ahí
doesn't
She
know.
doesn't know.
No
Okay.
lo vi. Yo no estoy pendiente de qué están haciendo, pues. Como...
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention to what he was doing once he left the apartment. She just knows that he was in and out.
Did he ever talk to her? Did they ever talk?
¿Hablaron ese día? ¿El lunes?
No, solo good morning y cuando me fui goodbye.
Is that normal?
¿Eso es normal?
Yo era así con él.
Yeah, that's how their relationship was. Like, just very small talk.
When she left to go to work, what time did you get home?
Cuando
Monday?
you're
Monday,
saying Monday?
yes,
Sí.
Ese día cerramos como a las 11.
Around 11 p.m. de la noche.
Were Jennifer and Stephen here?
Yes.
Was Maddie here?
¿Mari? No.
She wasn't? Did they say anything to you about her?
Apenas entré.
¿Cómo?
Apenas entré al apartamento, ellos me llamaron para... Jennifer me dijo, amiga, ven, que tengo algo que contarte. Y me dijo, Mari está perdida. No encuentro a mi Mari. Así.
Okay, so when she came home, Jennifer said to her, like, come down here, I need to tell you something. And she said, Mari's missing, I can't find Mari. Eso era
What was she like? Yeah, like what?
¿Y cómo era Jennifer? ¿Cómo la...
Llora, desesperada, llorando.
Crying, desperate?
What was his emotion?
¿Y las emociones de Stephen cómo era?
Lloraba, pero estaba como acostado así, llorando, tranquilo. O sea, yo lo vi como llorando, pero a la vez tranquilo. O sea, no sé cómo explicarte.
So she's saying that he was somewhat crying but calm at the same time.
Did he seem upset, or did she think it was kind of like fake?
¿Tú crees que era algo como las emociones de él eran como falso? ¿O tú crees que él estaba enojado, preocupado? ¿O estaba como llorando solamente para llorar nomás, para que alguien no piensa que algo está pasando?
Pues analizando el momento y recordando, creo que, o sea, yo siendo padre o madre hubiese actuado de otra forma.
Looking back and analyzing how he was, if she was a mom or a dad, her emotions would be a lot different than his.
Okay, going back to the tools. One was a hammer. Were the other tools small or grande?
Como medianos, grande, como así.
Yeah, entonces...
Como normal, como...
Pero eran como una herramienta para un tornillo, para algo eléctrico, para...
No era eléctrico, no, yo no vi eléctrico allí en la mesa, pero sí recuerdo que cuando Jennifer llegó, salimos del cuarto y estábamos en la sala con toda la situación en la noche, ella le preguntó a él, ¿y estas herramientas? ¿Qué hacen acá estas herramientas? Y él le dijo, porque estaba terminando el proyecto, no sé de qué proyecto están hablando.
Okay, ¿y qué día fue eso?
Eso fue el lunes, ese mismo lunes en la noche cuando me estoy enterando de toda la situación.
So she noticed that the tools were small. It didn't appear to her to be electrical or anything like that, but she can't describe them. But she does remember when Jennifer was telling her that Maddie was missing. She looked at the tools, and Jennifer asked Stephen, like, what are these tools, like, what are they doing here? And Stephen replied to Jennifer, like, oh, I was finishing up a project. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know what project he was referring to.
Have you ever seen those tools before?
¿Alguna vez has visto esas herramientas antes? No.
So, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday.
Martes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you work Tuesday?
Yeah.
What time?
Déjame recordar. 12.
12.
A las 12 del día.
When you went to work, was Stephen and Jennifer here?
Cuando tú fuiste al trabajo, Jennifer y Stephen estaban aquí en la casa?
Sí.
Yeah.
Were their emotions still the same as they were Monday?
Las emociones de ellos, de los dos, eran lo mismo que estuvo y como lunes, cambiaron.
La verdad no hablé mucho el martes con ellos. Yo me desperté y salí a mi trabajo. Solo le dije a Jennifer, por favor manténme informada. O sea, abrí la habitación y le dije, por favor manténme informada de todo lo que sepas. Yo me tengo que ir a trabajar, pero voy a estar pendiente de mi teléfono. Pero la verdad, decirte que yo podía ver las emociones de ellos, pues Jennifer estaba hinchada de tanto llorar.
So she really didn't pay too much attention to it. When she woke up, she got ready for work. She told Jennifer, like, keep me informed on what's going on. I'll have my phone on me. The only thing she did say was Jennifer obviously looked like she had been crying all night.
Okay. Speaking of phones, does Maddie have a phone?
¿Maddie tiene un teléfono?
Sí.
Was she on the phone like a normal teenager all the time?
No.
Ella estuvo en el teléfono todas las veces como normal, como una...
No, ella no es una niña que use mucho el teléfono.
¿Que no?
Normalmente no.
She's saying that
Ella
Maddie's not somebody that uses her phone a lot.
usa mucho la computadora
She uses the computer a lot.
con los juegos,
Oh, okay. What about Jennifer or Stephen?
los teléfonos,
Sí. ¿Cómo son ellos con los teléfonos?
todo el
Sí.
tiempo.
They're always on it.
Okay.
Pero a Maddie no. Ella no era como
No
una
es
niña
una
que...
niña, no es una niña que esté tan pendiente del teléfono, ¿no?
Porque tú sabes como las
Sí.
juventudes siempre están como pegados a los celulares.
Sí, pero ella es más con la computadora.
She's saying
Le gustan mucho los juegos.
Maddie was more interested in the computer than she was her cell phone.
Sí.
Okay. If you're in the middle of the night, would you be able to hear somebody leaving the apartment or coming?
Si tú estás dentro de tu habitación o dentro del apartamento en la noche, ¿tú puedes escuchar a alguien si se van del apartamento? Por ejemplo, abren la puerta del frente y se van. ¿Tú puedes escuchar eso?
Podría escucharlo, pero si me quedo dormida, no creo.
She says if she's asleep, probably not. If she's awake, she probably would hear something.
Pero los sonidos en la casa se escuchan mucho. O sea,
You can hear the noises inside the house more.
Like people walking up and down the steps?
Como gente caminando.
o sea, uno puede escuchar si sube las escaleras, si abres la puerta, eso se escucha.
You can hear people walking up the stairs, opening a door.
Okay. Has Jennifer said anything to her about Maddie being missing, that she thinks something's wrong with her or something happened to her or anything like that?
¿Entendiste eso?
Que si hay algo extraño que yo vi con Mari.
No, Jennifer te dijo algo que era como extraño de Mari, que no, como no la podían encontrar, que algo pasó contra ella, o todo esto, lo que está pasando es extraño. Como ¿te dio algún dato de información?
O sea, ella me dijo que Mari se había perdido, ¿verdad? Pero siempre he estado pendiente. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Qué información tienes? Y no me han dicho nada. No sé nada.
So Jennifer told her that Maddie was missing or lost, but other than that, and then the updates that they were getting, she didn't tell her anything.
Okay. Was their other roommate here that night too, Sunday night?
La otra persona que vive aquí, ellos estaban aquí en la noche del domingo.
¿Nathalie? ¿La
Yes.
del Nathalie?
Sí.
Sí, yo creo.
She thinks so.
Does she have a boyfriend?
Que yo
Nathalie
sepa, no. Que yo sepa.
Nathalie tiene un pololo, un novio.
¿Un novio? Pololo. Que yo sepa, no.
Not that she knows.
Ella
Okay.
tiene su hijo, pero ellos se quedan dormidos muy temprano.
¿El hijo vive aquí también?
¿Con ella? ¿Con Nathalie? Sí.
So Nathalie has a son.
How old?
¿Cuántos años?
Están en como 8, no sé qué edad tiene. Pero
Young kid, 7,
como así es,
Oh, okay.
7, 8.
7, 8.
Y es autista también.
He's autistic.
Do you have a boyfriend?
¿Yo?
Yeah. Okay.
Pero cuando tú dices que el nene también es autista, ¿quién también es autista? O sea, dentro
Oh, perdona. Es como un comentario que
Ah, ya,
hago
okay.
para añadir algo. Pues
ya. Okay.
el niño se queda... A veces yo no veo al niño porque ella sale muy temprano a la escuela, a llevar al niño a la escuela. Y el niño se queda a las 8 y ya está dormido. A las 8 de la
I was clarifying her last statement because she said that Nathalie's son is also autistic, and I was just making sure, like, who else is autistic in the house that you know? She goes, no, I was just saying that he too is autistic.
Oh, okay. All right. Tell her this next topic is going to be kind of sensitive to her. But we think Stephen was taking videos of her that she may have not known about.
¿Entendiste eso?
No, por favor, repítemelo.
Okay. Obviamente lo que estamos hablando es un poco los detalles como sensibles.
Okay.
Pero nosotros creemos que Stephen te estaba grabando o tomando fotos de usted también.
So I'm going to show her a photo that doesn't show her face. I just need to know if it is her or not.
Él te va a mostrar una foto. La foto no tiene la cara de alguien. Pero lo que él quiere saber, si tú reconoces la foto, por ejemplo, es tu cuerpo.
Tell her not to be embarrassed. It's just.
Yo no quiero que tú pases vergüenza. Mira, nosotros somos adultos y también somos investigadores. Pero nosotros lo que queremos saber si esta foto es usted o alguien que tú conoces, solamente mirando la foto.
But I just need to know if it's her, one, if it's her, and two, if it's her bedroom.
Solamente él te quiere saber dos cosas. Si la foto es usted, y segunda, si la foto es de tu cuarto.
Ok.
I take that as yes.
Sí,
¿Eso es tú? ¿Eso es tu cuarto?
soy yo.
Pero donde tomaron esa foto, ¿es el cuarto tuyo? That's her in her room.
Okay. Does she know he was arrested?
¿Tú sabes que Stephen lo arrestaron?
Okay, does she know what he was arrested for?
¿Tú sabes la razón por qué Stephen lo arrestaron?
Por agresión sexual.
Sí, pero por ejemplo los detalles.
No sé tanta información porque me da pena preguntarle a Jennifer en esta situación tan difícil y hacerle tantas preguntas así.
She knows it was a sex act or something sexual, but she didn't want to ask Jennifer because of everything she was going through. She didn't think it was appropriate.
Okay. You can tell her that he was arrested for, and we are going to be charging him eventually with taking the pictures of her.
Repíteme, por favor.
Stephen, nosotros arrestamos por él estuvo abusando Maddie sexual. Eso porque él está en la cárcel ahora. En el futuro también le vamos a poner cargos contra él por sacar las fotos.
¿Esas?
You're saying photos of her?
Yes.
Sí.
Is she okay with that?
¿Tú estás bien con eso? Por ejemplo,
supuesto.
¿tú quieres ponerle cargos?
Sí, por supuesto.
Okay, yeah, she wants to press charges.
Okay.
¿Hay más fotos? Discúlpame, pero hay más
She's
fotos.
asking if there's more photos.
There is more photos, but it's all the same day.
Si hay más fotos, sí, pero es del mismo día.
Ok, ¿cómo él entró una cámara a mi cuarto?
She's asking how. Is there a camera in her bedroom?
No, he put it underneath the door.
Él puso la cámara debajo la puerta.
Pero qué enfermo.
But reassure her that this won't happen again because he's probably going to spend a lot of time in jail.
Nosotros te queremos asegurar que esto no va a pasar de nuevo contra Stephen porque él va a estar en la cárcel.
Ok.
Okay, pero obviamente yo sé que es algo que no para pasar vergüenza, pero nosotros estamos haciendo una investigación y queremos asegurar dónde está Mari. Y
Eso es lo más importante.
y obviamente para ayudarte a usted y la otra gente y Jennifer todo. What I was telling her was just rest assured that we're doing our job to make sure that Stephen is in jail. Our biggest concern is to find Maddie. For the photos that he took of her and just to make sure everybody else is safe in this apartment.
Quiero hacerte una pregunta ya porque quiero que me quede claro. ¿Las fotos, esas fotos que él tomó, solo fueron un día o era siempre que él me estaba grabando allí?
What she wants to know is the photos that he took of her, was that just all in one day or was he constantly...
No, all in one day. It was a time period of roughly 3 or 4 minutes.
Él sacó esas fotos en de 3 a 4 minutos en el mismo día.
Okay.
But it wasn't multiple times.
Pero no era varios días, no. Solamente
Okay.
ese día.
Quiero saber si esto pasaba constantemente porque él estuvo viviendo tiempo allí.
Because she's been living here for a while, she wants to know if this has been ongoing.
No. And tell her, without getting too much into it, we have his device, and in examining that device, the only pictures we see of her are just that one incident.
Entonces nosotros tenemos el celular de él.
Okay.
Los únicos imágenes que encontramos de usted son esas fotos.
Okay.
And rest assured, tell her that nobody else sees these photos except for law enforcement.
Gracias.
Okay. ¿Tú entendiste eso, cierto?
Que él no esas fotos nadie
Estas
las va a
fotos,
ver.
estas fotos no la compartimos con el público, con nadie.
Y
Solamente con los investigadores de esta investigación.
Okay. Y otra pregunta. Los de la casa también van a tener acceso a la información de que él también me grababa a mí.
¿Cómo?
O sea, Jennifer también sabe eso.
Does Jennifer know that
No.
Stephen was recording her?
No.
Ella
¿No
no
sabe?
sabe eso.
Ya se va a morir.
I'm not going to tell her.
Okay.
What you decide to do, you can do, but us as law enforcement, we're not going to tell your business to other people.
Okay.
¿Tú entendiste
Sí,
eso?
entendí perfecto.
Okay.
All right, one last thing. Do you think Stephen has the capability to hurt Maddie?
¿Tú crees que Stephen tiene la habilidad para hacerle daño a Mari?
Después de ver esto, por supuesto. Después de ver eso, creo que sí.
Antes de ver eso.
Antes yo no creía, yo vi las noticias y yo no podía creerlo.
So, prior to seeing these photos, she couldn't believe that he could do something or could hurt Maddie. Now that the photos that you just showed her, he's capable of anything, obviously.
Okay. All right. What I ask is, don't discuss our conversation that we had today with anybody outside.
Por favor,
No
te
puedo
vamos a
hablar de eso.
preguntar, no hablas de esta discusión con nadie, porque
Ok.
obviamente es una investigación que todavía estamos haciendo.
Yo entiendo.
Because our main focus is to find Maddie, and we don't want other outside factors
Okay.
messing with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Understand. Okay.
Any questions?
¿Algunas preguntas para nosotros?
Creo que no.
I'm going to give her my card. Obviously, I don't speak Spanish. So if you call and leave a message, I'll have somebody translate it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, we are going to
Mark?
Yes.
And your name?
Christopher.
Christopher.
Sí.
Okay. Gracias, Christopher. Gracias, Mark.
And we are going to conclude this interview at 8:10 p.m. All right, the date is March 7, 2024. The time is 1:07 p.m. We're at 4012 Santa Maria Drive, apartment 107. It's myself, Detective Morris, Detective Reyes Soto, and Angelica Negro. That's right. Reference to case number 24001896. Just tell her the last time that we spoke, she swore to tell the truth, but the truth is best of your knowledge.
La última que ustedes hablaron, ustedes juró que dicen la verdad y solo la verdad y cosas así. ¿Se acuerda de eso?
And that still applies now,
Y todo
so...
eso aplica en esa entrevista también. ¿Se acuerdan? ¿Cierto?
Okay, so we talked before. I want to go into more details about the night of Sunday going into Monday.
Detalles entre domingo a lunes.
Okay, what time did you get home Sunday night?
¿Qué hora se regresó el domingo por la noche?
Mi horario era hasta las... Yo salgo alrededor los domingos de las 11.
Sunday around 11.
Y acá llegué...
PM?
Pues, por la
Sí,
noche.
sí, en la noche.
Ok.
Pero acá llegué como
Should probably get
11:30.
around 11:30, she thinks. 11:30 p.m.
So 11 or 11:30?
11:30 getting here.
Okay.
11 getting out of work.
All right, was anybody here when you got home?
Si se encontraba alguien en ese sitio cuando usted llegó. Si había
Sí,
otra
sí.
persona. ¿Quién había?
Pues yo escuchaba cosas en el cuarto de arriba.
She said, yeah, she
Pero-
was hearing things upstairs.
Pero normalmente cuando yo llego a esa hora todos están durmiendo.
But normally, around that time, everyone's sleeping.
Okay. Did you physically see anybody?
Si físicamente viste algo.
No.
Okay. Do you know, when you came in, was her door open or shut? Jennifer's door open or shut?
Así. Tal cual así como estábamos
So
durmiendo.
just like that.
Okay, so cracked open. Did you look inside?
No.
No. Okay. When you went upstairs, were the doors open or closed?
Close.
Closed. Okay.
Yo puedo entender un poco.
She could
Pero-
understand.
Yeah, we figured that out last time we spoke.
So, cuando haya dificultad,
Ah, yo te decía que
I'll interject when you guys know.
How did she know? Who did she know was actually here that night when she got home?
cuando yo llego a casa, ¿quién sé que está acá? Bueno, esa noche Stephan, Mari, supongo, y Jen y Nathalie con su bebé, con su niño.
So, dime otra vez, perdón, que no estaba.
Nathalie,
So, Natalie,
su niño,
her kid.
Her son. Okay.
Jen, Stephan, o Jennifer, yo le digo Jen, Stephan y Mari.
So, those are the people that she thinks usually.
Okay. When she got home, what did you do when you got home?
¿Qué hago cuando llego a casa?
Esa noche que hiciste cuando llegaste.
Ok, esa
That
noche.
night, right?
Yo entré a mi cuarto, pues yo me cambio,
To her room, changed.
mi uniforme y me duché y luego
Shower.
me acosté a dormir.
And then she went to bed.
Okay. What time do you think you went to bed? And
Well, ¿qué hora piensa que son?
2:30, pero yo no me duermo de una vez, o sea, como 2:30 o 1.
2:30 de la mañana. Around 2:30 in the morning.
okay. What time do you think you heard these noises coming from Stephan's room?
Todo ese tiempo que yo estaba por dormirme.
Okay. So, desde que llegaste o solo cuando estabas ya para dormirte?
No, desde que llegué.
Desde que llegaste?
Sí.
Okay. So, she's saying from the time she got home, I had her clarify to about the time she fell asleep. Is
Yo
when she was hearing
escuchaba,
noises.
sí, desde que llegué yo escuchaba sonidos.
She was hearing noises.
Okay, can she explain the best that she can what those noises were?
Sonidos como, por ejemplo, algo así. ¿Puedo?
Sí, sí. Give an
Como
example.
cuando tú pones como ese tipo de sonido, como así, como que pusieras cosas en una mesa.
Like
Algo
placing
así.
things on a table or something if you're putting something down.
Okay.
Kind of
Sí.
like that.
Any other noises that she may have heard?
Algunos
People
No,
talking?
No, nunca escuché gente hablando.
did not hear anyone talking.
Okay. Throughout the night, did you hear anybody walking up and down the stairs?
Que si en la noche alguien subió bajo las escaleras,
Sí que si escuchaste
No, no
por
llegué a
la noche
escuchar.
alguien subiendo o bajando.
no escuché. Después
No.
me quedé dormida, la verdad yo no escuché.
After she fell asleep, she said that was it.
Okay. What time did you wake up the next day? Monday.
9:30.
9:30.
Okay. What did you do after you woke up?
Bajé a tomar el desayuno.
Came down to make breakfast, basically.
Okay. Was anybody here?
Él, Stephan,
Stuff on
Okay.
yo lo vi.
What was he doing?
Él entraba a este cuarto, salía, subía, volvía a bajar, salía otra vez de la puerta. O sea, él estaba...
Come down, go out, come in,
Exacto, ese era su movimiento, volvía a salir y yo...
go
no.
out.
También comenté en la interview pasada que yo lo vi a él lavando ropa, eso me pareció muy extraño.
She said that in the prior interview she mentioned that he was washing clothing, which she found kind of strange.
Bueno, luego yo subí a mi habitación,
She went upstairs,
me quedé allí, luego volví a bajar para preparar mi
down again to
¿Mi almuerzo?
make her supper.
él estaba acá.
He was here.
Ujú.
Sometimes
What
he-
time was that?
como a las 2,
around 2.
más o menos 1:30, 2 de la tarde.
Around 1:32 p.m.
Okay. Was Jennifer here?
Yo no la vi,
No.
Didn't see her.
Oh, didn't see her.
no la vi.
So, no sabes si estaba aquí.
No
la
sé.
viste.
Yo no sé porque no la vi.
Doesn't know because she didn't see her.
Y pues la verdad es que yo nunca, o sea, es como privado, pues yo no abro la puerta
Because
para ver si
usually
está o no.
it's private, so she didn't open the door to see
If Jennifer's here, like during the day on a normal day, is that door just like that, or is it open so Jen can come and go?
Siempre está dentro de su habitación.
Pero lo que él pregunta es en un día normal y si ella está presente, ¿la puerta se mantiene cerrada o está abierta?
A veces la mantiene así y a veces abierta. O sea,
Sometimes
no
if she's
es...
here, sometimes it could be like that, or cerrada, me dices, o abierta.
Sí, o no completa, ella nunca la mantiene completamente cerrada,
Usualmente sí.
como algo así. Esa noche que yo llegué,
Cracked open like that.
la puerta estaba así cuando yo llegué en
When
la
she got
noche.
home that night, the door was just like that.
Y en la mañana,
In the morning,
pues él abría, o sea, él abría la puerta, pero la volvía a dejar así. O sea,
he
yo no...
would, again, this is Stephan.
Stephan.
He would open the door, go in, but he would leave it like that, and then when he come out, leave it like that as well.
Okay. Is that normal, friend?
Eso es normal.
De que no sé.
She's not sure.
Si la puerta está... Siempre permanece así,
The door's always like that.
muy poco abierta, pero a veces
Rarely
cambiaba.
open.
A veces podía estar abierta o a veces
Sometimes it could be
podía
open,
estar de ese modo, pero nunca completamente cerrada,
but
nunca.
never completely closed.
Okay. How long have you lived here again?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years and a half.
All right.
2 años y medio.
How were their sleeping arrangements between Jennifer, Maddie, and Stephan?
¿Me
¿Cómo
puedes?
era, sí, cómo era la situación para dormir? Los arreglos, básicamente, ¿para qué?
For Jennifer, Maddie,
Jennifer,
and Stephan.
Maddie y Stephan.
Bueno,
Que usted sepa.
al principio de la relación ellos dormían los tres juntos.
All three of them sleep together.
Luego como a mitad de relación, más o menos, no a mitad, no sé cuánto tiempo decirles de verdad,
Not sure how long.
por cuestión de privacidad para ellos dos como pareja,
For the question of privacy, they
decidieron como hacer esta parte para la nena.
create that section behind it for the girl.
Y pero ella nunca dormía y no le gustaba.
But she would never sleep there if she didn't like it.
Igual dormía en la habitación.
She would sleep in that room right there.
Have you ever saw Maddie and Stephen going into Stephen's bedroom by themselves? Yes.
¿Puedes repetirme la pregunta por
Sí,
favor, para estar seguro?
sí, en algún momento usted vio a Maddie y Stephen yendo a la habitación de Stephen.
Sí.
Sí, yes.
Okay. Would Jennifer be here when that happened?
Jennifer se encontraba aquí cuando eso pasaba.
Sí.
Okay. Did she ever say why they would do that?
Que si en algún momento Jennifer decía por qué ellos, Stephan y Maddie, hacían eso.
Para ella era normal, como él nunca le iba a hacer daño a su niña.
For that was normal to her because he would never hurt her daughter.
Ella nunca imaginó, o sea, incluso una vez tuvimos una conversación
So she actually had a conversation
acerca de eso
about that.
y la mamá de Jen
And
siempre le reclamaba a Jen por qué dejaba eso.
Why would you do that?
Y ella me lo comentó en una conversación privada entre nosotras dos como
in a
amigas
private conversation between friends.
y ella me dijo que para ella él nunca le iba a hacer daño
She told her
a su
that
hija.
because he would never harm her daughter.
Para ella no, eso era normal porque nunca él le
To
iba a
her
hacer
it was
daño.
normal because he would never hurt her.
Okay. What can she tell me about if Jennifer was taking medication?
De que tú sepas que Jennifer tomaba medicamentos.
Sí, claro.
Yes. ¿Qué medicamentos?
Bueno, Sé que son un montón de medicamentos, pero no sé específicamente qué
She knows
medicamentos.
a lot of them, but she doesn't know specifically what.
Sí, y para dormir también.
And she knows to sleep.
A las 9:30 ella ya, porque se tomaba su medicina y así estábamos hablando y ella
Take her
completamente
medication
se tiene que ir a
While they
dormir.
were talking, she would just kind of start dozing off. She had to go to bed.
Was that every night she would do that?
Sí, ella toma sus medicamentos todos los días.
Okay. Where would Maddie and Stephan be when this was going on?
Cuando eso estaba pasando, que se tomaba el medicamento, ¿dónde se encontraba Maddie y Stephan?
Igual acá en casa.
En la casa.
Sí.
Pero específicamente, no sabe en qué parte de la casa.
No,
She's
no.
here at the house, but she doesn't know where exactly in the house.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Did she ever talk to Jennifer about Jennifer and Stephan's sexual relationship?
Que si Jennifer habló con usted en algún momento de su relación personal de ella con Stephan.
Sí, en algún momento pues llegaba a comentarme.
Occasionally she did.
What would she say?
¿Qué te contó ella?
¿Qué me contó? Como de su relación sexual, que no era tan a menuda. En una oportunidad me lo llegó a
It
comentar.
wasn't very often, she told her at one point.
Ujú. ¿Qué más? A ver. Ellos tenían pues dificultades también, tenían problemas,
Difficulties, they had problems.
pero esos son los comentarios, como que no era tan a menudo en la actividad
That
sexual.
was it. Appeared to not be frequent.
Okay. Did she ever say that bothered her?
En algún momento ella dijo que eso le molestaba a ella.
Ella ya no quería estar con él.
That she didn't want to be with him anymore.
Okay. When they broke up,
Cuando se separaron,
how did that go?
¿cómo pasó eso? ¿Cómo,
Cuando ellos rompieron, yo no recuerdo en qué momento Stephan se había ido
remember
de
when
casa,
Stephan left the house?
pero yo siempre estuve pendiente cómo te sientes, cómo, y yo
How she was feeling?
a ella yo la veía bien.
Asking her, and she saw that she was okay.
A ella la veía bien, pero sí, por lo menos, lo que llegué a notar como que era un poco extraño, que cuando Mari tenía alguna discusión con la niña, porque por hacer sus cosas o algo, y ella
Argument
lloraba,
or discussion, she would cry.
lo que ella
Who would
quería,
cry?
¿Quién lloraba? Perdón.
que si tenían alguna discusión entre Jennifer y Mari, y la niña terminaba llorando, ella siempre quería hablar era con Stephan.
Okay, so whenever they had an argument, Maddie would always try to talk to Stephan about it.
Whenever who would have an argument?
Jen and Maddie.
O sea, como
Entre-
cosas de
la
madre, como
discusión-
haz tus cosas,
Sí,
no haces
cuando hubo una
esto,
discusión entre Jen y Maddie, Maddie siempre iba a buscar a...
que ella quería
Stephan.
llamar por teléfono a Stephan.
Okay, so whenever Jen and Maddie had an argument, like I think parenting related or whatnot, Maddie would want to call Stephan and
Para desahogarse, pues me
to
imagino.
vent
Como,
about it, what she was imagining.
y yo, bueno,
Did you know Stephan was coming that Sunday?
Que si usted sabía que Stephan iba a venir ese domingo,
para nada. No.
que no, idea.
Would Jennifer tell her when Stephan was coming?
Que si Jennifer te decía a ti cuando iba a venir Stephan.
No.
Okay. When he moved out, when did he move out?
No
¿Cuándo se
recuerdo.
mudó?
¿Cuándo se mudó? La verdad no recuerdo, pero ya teníamos como alrededor de 3 meses. La verdad no recuerdo una fecha exacta porque yo yo vivía acá, pero no estaba como en este momento se está
Remember
mudando.
exact date,
Pero como alrededor
What
de,
month?
no sé,
¿en qué mes? Si te
no,
no estimado.
no sé qué mes decir, como a ver, yo empecé a trabajar, déjame ver si... Yo empecé a trabajar en el tapatío como en octubre
Start working at Tapatio in October.
y él estaba aún acá
He was still here.
como en noviembre,
Around
como algo
November,
así.
maybe, she thinks.
When you started Tapatio, was he living here or up there?
Arriba.
Okay.
O incluso algo muy importante, que fue que toda la familia habló conmigo para ver si yo estaba de acuerdo en que él viviera
A
arriba.
very important thing is the whole family spoke to her to see if she was okay with him living upstairs.
Porque
Because
solo éramos mujeres.
it was all women here.
Cuando llegué a vivir a esta casa solo éramos mujeres.
When she first started living here, it was all women.
Y eso me gustó mucho, eso fue lo que más me gustó.
And she liked that about living here.
Como a los 3 o 4 meses que yo estaba
3 or 4
viviendo acá,
months
fue
after
que
living here
Stephan
is when
se mudó a vivir
Stephan
acá.
moved here.
Y cuando ellos toman la decisión de separarse,
They made the decision to separate.
él justo había empezado a trabajar en Disney, Stephan.
He started working at Disney.
Y entonces ella pues no lo quería botar de la casa porque tenía esa oportunidad y acá
She
quedaba
didn't
muy
want to
cerca.
kick Stephan out because he had that opportunity so close.
Exacto. Entonces me llamó hasta el señor Juan para preguntarme si yo estaba de acuerdo.
Called her just to verify if she was okay.
Y yo estuve de acuerdo siempre y cuando él no usara el baño.
And she was in agreement with it just as long as he didn't use the bathroom.
Y estuvimos de acuerdo, pero él siguió usando este baño.
Él siguió usando
Sí, entonces
but he kept using this bathroom.
porque, exacto, arriba hay una habitación donde vivía Nathalie, ella tiene su baño privado,
There's where Natalie lives, she has her own bathroom.
pero las otras dos habitaciones compartíamos
The
el baño de
other
afuera.
rooms would have to share the outside bathroom.
Entonces, como yo pedí que no usara el baño porque, pues bueno, yo comparto el baño con mujeres, no con hombres.
So she asked obviously the exclusive bathroom. She didn't want to share a bathroom with men.
Entonces, él seguía usando acá
So he kept using this one.
Pasó un tiempo así
Some time passed.
y a Jenny igual no le gustaba porque
Jen didn't like it either.
igual seguía entrando a esa habitación, no tenía su
He
privacidad.
kept going in there was no privacy.
Y después fue que decidieron como ya vete, o sea, ya no más.
That's when they decided just like, hey, you gotta leave.
How did Stephan take it?
¿Y él cómo reaccionó cuando pasó eso?
Con lo del baño,
Cuando le dijeron ya
¿de
te
ella?
tiene que ir.
No sé, porque
No.
cuando yo estuve el día que hizo la mudanza y él pues no estaba muy contento.
She was here when he was doing the whole moving process and he was not happy.
How did Maddie take it when he was moving out?
Maddie cómo reaccionó cuando él se estaba mudando.
La vimos normal.
She, as far as she saw normal.
How was Maddie's demeanor after Stephan moved out?
Maddie, como el comportamiento, como era después de que él se fue. Ya que él se fue, se mudó.
Pues bien, normal. Ella seguía durmiendo con su mamá
She continued to sleep with mom.
y iba a su escuela normal.
She would go to school like normal.
Seguía llegando a jugar en su computadora.
Keep playing on the computer.
O sea, yo no vi algo extraño en ella.
She didn't really see anything strange.
Solo eso que siempre llamaba, sí, seguían en comunicación.
Just that they continued communication. Se Maddie y Stephan, ¿cierto? Between Maddie and Stephan, they continued to communicate.
How would they communicate?
¿Cómo se comunicaban?
Por teléfono.
Okay, like call, text, or an app application?
Llamando,
A veces
FaceTime.
llamadas, no sé si era por texto porque hasta ahí llego yo. Pues, no,
Sometimes call, she
pero,
doesn't know if it was text.
pero sí llegué a escuchar varias llamadas
But she
de
did
ellos hablando.
hear that there were several calls.
Okay, would Maddie be down here, or kind of like whenever Maddie would call him, would she try to like hide herself, or
Cuando Maddie llamaba, ¿dónde se encontraba ella? La veía. Maddie, cuando ella llamaba a Stephan, ¿ella dónde estaba? Ella estaba aquí como en
Se metía en su cuarto, o sea, aquí mismo en la
cuarto.
casa.
Sí. O se escondía ella cuando hablaba por teléfono.
No, podíamos, una vez recuerdo que Jenny y yo estábamos hablando acá en la cocina y la niña entró a su habitación a hablar con él. Acá.
One time she remembers they were there and Maddie went in there to talk to him on the phone.
where was Jen?
Jen, ¿dónde se encontraba?
Acá.
Aquí también estaban. Son las tres estaban, Stephan llamó y Maddie se fue para allá para hablar.
O sea, recuerdo una conversación cuando pues yo llegaba a trabajar y normalmente me preparaba algo y a veces Jen salía a conversar conmigo. Y recuerdo una vez que ellas nos habían discutido o algo por sus quehaceres, que nunca lo hacía, y entonces quiero hablar con Stephan, y entonces ella entraba con el teléfono a hablar con él acá en la habitación.
I guess there was disagreement over chores, as she recalls, and so she just simply went to speak to Stephan on the phone.
So Maddie went to speak to Stephan in the room about chores.
Yeah, over chores, yeah.
Over chores.
Okay.
Que Maddie, lo que se dice es que Maddie entró al cuarto a hablar con Stephan por teléfono
Sí.
sobre los...
Lo que había pasado de la discusión que había tenido con su mamá.
Yeah, over the argument that they had.
Okay. All right. Going back to Monday, when you came down here to make breakfast, you said Stephan was here, but you didn't see Jen?
No,
Okay. Did you see Jen at any point that morning, Monday morning?
no.
Okay. How was Stephen acting? How was Stephan acting? Was he look nervous?
Sí, como nervioso. O sea, yo analizando toda la situación, ahora
Analyzing the whole situation now,
él estaba muy extraño ese día.
it's acting very strange.
Like how?
Como, ¿qué sentido?
O sea, por eso.
What
porque
is he doing different that day than he would any other day?
Que como que hacía...
me lo veía como muy, como entraba, salía, como
agitado,
nervioso, como nervioso,
Like nervous,
como nervioso, era como raro, no sé.
upbeat, from what she was just describing.
Have you ever seen him act that way before?
¿Se lo has visto él actuar así antes? O...
Yo me he puesto a recordar mucho, ¿no? Y una vez yo lo vi con esos mismos nervios una vez que estaba esperando
One time that she saw
un
him
paquete.
nervous like that when he was expecting a package.
Sí, o sea, él cada vez que pedía algo por Amazon o algo,
From Amazon or something.
no sé, una vez yo recuerdo que él recibió una caja y él abría la puerta como para ver qué recibe.
When was that?
No sé, no tengo idea. No
She has
recuerdo.
no idea.
Like a month, 2 months,
Well,
year?
No, yo no recuerdo, o sea, no puedo decir un tiempo porque yo tengo todas mis memorias vienen a mi mente, pero sin tiempo, ¿sí me explico? O sea,
She
no.
don't remember 'cause
Pero también llegué a verlo en otros momentos así como y una vez recuerdo que sí, le llegaba un paquete y abría la puerta a ver si lo recibía, si venía.
She was receiving a package and he would open the door, close it, open the door, see if it was there.
Okay, does she know of any medication that Stephan was taking?
¿Sabe si Stephan estaba tomando algún medicamento?
Yo sé que él fumaba drogas,
That she knows he would smoke drugs.
pero sabía. Pero sé que las había dejado cuando empezó el trabajo en Disney
He supposedly stopped when he started Disney.
y luego cuando terminó yo lo veía consumiendo.
Cuando terminó Disney. Que
Sí, o sea,
¿sabes? Cuando
sí,
terminó
él
Disney,
sí,
empezó otra vez.
exactamente.
As far as she knows, he stopped when he started Disney, but when he stopped at Disney, he started consuming drugs again.
All right, so she gets home around 11:30, and you go upstairs, and you're hearing noises then coming from his room.
Sí, de ese cuarto, sí, de ese
Okay,
cuarto.
were the noises consistent until you went to sleep, or did they stop at one point?
Que los sonidos que estabas oyendo, que desde que llegaste, los
Hasta que
sonidos
yo me
eran
dormí.
consistentes o pararon en algún momento.
Consistentes hasta que yo pues me dormí.
They were consistent until she fell asleep.
Okay. What do you think the noises were?
¿Qué piensa que los sonidos eran?
Como te he dicho en toda oportunidad, eran como poner objetos. O sea, siempre fue
Like
ese
she
mismo
mentioned,
sonido.
it just sounded like items were being like put down or placed.
Did she ever hear those noises in the past coming from his
¿El
room?
pasado?
A
¿Oíste
veces,
eso?
a
Cosas
veces
así.
sí.
Sí, sometimes.
Okay. Any other noises that may have stood out other than that?
que
algún otro sonido,
que
no. Después yo me quedé dormida, la verdad que no sé.
So no, just after she fell asleep, that was pretty much it.
All right. When after you fall asleep, would you hear anybody? Would you be able to hear anybody coming up and down the stairs?
Que después de que se duerme, podría oír a alguien si alguien sube por las escalas.
Por las escaleras.
Or doors open and shut?
O si alguien abre una puerta o cierra una puerta, usted lo oiría.
Sí, yo creo que yo lo podría oír.
She would possibly hear it. Yeah.
Pero yo no escuché
But she
escaleras
didn't
ese día.
that night.
Okay. Have you ever witnessed Maddie get ready for school?
En algún momento vio cuando Mari se arreglaba para ir a la escuela. Said yes.
Sí.
What would be her routine?
¿Cuál era la rutina de Mari?
Ella se paraba toda soñolienta.
Get up all cheery.
Bueno, la mamá la peleaba, ya párate.
The mom would tell her to get up.
Salía para sacar su ropita acá.
She would come out to get her clothing.
Luego tomaba el desayuno.
She would have a breakfast.
Y luego la dejaba dormir como unos 20 minutitos más.
Jen would let her sleep for about 20 more minutes or so.
Para que descansara un poquito más. Y luego sí la llevaban a la...
And then she would take her to school.
Has she ever seen Stephan take her to school?
En algún momento Stephan la llevó ahí a la escuela.
O sea,
O si viste algún
nunca
momento,
llegué a ver que él fuera el que la llevara a la escuela. Siempre era Jennifer.
never saw him taking her to school. She would always see Jennifer taking her to school.
Bueno, y la última semana que la estaba llevando la abuelita a la escuela, pero...
And la última semana, maybe. Last week it was, or the last week it was grandma taking her to school.
Okay. Were you here Saturday? The Saturday, the 25th, I guess it would be.
Sábado el 25. ¿Usted
Or the
estaba aquí?
24th.
O el 24.
Déjame recordar. El sábado. No recuerdo qué trabajé yo. A ella se le celebró el cumpleaños el domingo.
Just trying to remember. So Sunday, her birthday was celebrated.
No recuerdo mi horario del sábado,
Doesn't remember her schedule.
pero
for
yo
Saturday,
nunca dejé de dormir
but-
en esta casa, siempre llegaba a dormir,
But she never stopped sleeping in this house. She would always come here to sleep.
siempre. No recuerdo el tiempo, la verdad, que yo llegué acá, no recuerdo mi horario del
Doesn't
sábado.
really recall her schedule on Saturday. She says.
Okay. Do you know if Maddie and Jen were here Saturday?
No recuerdo.
She doesn't remember.
Okay. Do you think Jennifer had anything to do with Maddie being hurt?
Que si usted cree que Jennifer tuvo algo que ver con Maddie, con lo que pasó con Maddie.
Para nada. Para nada.
Not the least bit, she says.
De todo corazón, para nada.
So honestly, with all her heart, she doesn't think so.
Do you think Stephan hurt Maddie?
¿Se cree que Stephan le hizo daño a ella?
¿A quién? ¿A Mari?
A Mari.
Sí.
Pues yes.
Is that because what she's seen on the news, or
¿Es porque basado en lo que viste en las noticias o por alguna otra razón?
O sea, que él le hacía daño, no por lo que pasó en las noticias, porque ni yo, imagínate que ni yo nunca creí que él de verdad le hiciera algo a la niña. Y sí, no sé, pero tuvo que haberle hecho algo.
Pero el pensado de que él le hizo daño a ella, ¿eso es basado en lo que viste en las noticias o por alguna otra observación que has hecho?
No, para nada, por lo que vi en las noticias.
So that's based on solely on the news and stuff that she said on the news. I had to clarify if it was based on the news or based on anything else she's observed here.
okay? When did you hear the power tools?
¿En qué momento usted oyó la herramienta
Es el lunes en la noche. Monday.
Monday at night?
Monday at night.
Monday por la noche?
El lunes porque sale me dicen que ya está perdida Mari. ¿Fue el lunes?
She's asking if Monday was when she was missing.
Yes.
Ese lunes en la noche
She said Monday night.
todos estábamos acá sentados
Everyone was sitting here.
y estaban las herramientas acá.
And the tools were here. ¿Qué herramientas usted vio?
Yo le había comentado que yo había visto un martillo y habían dos al lado, pero no me di cuenta de cuáles eran las otras dos.
And she doesn't really know what the other two things were, but they were laid out here on the table.
Okay, but when she heard the power tools being used, it was Monday night, not Monday morning.
Pero
No.
¿usted cuando los oyó que lo estaba usando la herramienta? ¿Cuándo fue?
El lunes en la mañana yo escuché como un ñiii aquí en casa
Monday
dentro.
morning, inside the house, she heard something that sounded like a power tool.
Okay. All right, and she's 100% sure she didn't hear or see anybody by the time she went to bed on Sunday to when she woke up on Monday.
Que si estás 100% segura que no viste a alguien cuando llegaste, dice Sunday night to Monday morning,
Yeah.
cuando llegaste domingo por la noche, cuando te levantaste el lunes por la mañana, ¿estás segura que no viste a nadie?
No, estoy segura. Yo no vi a
Sure.
nadie. No vi a
Didn't see
nadie.
anybody.
Okay, and the only noises she heard was the...
Los sonidos que viste era cuando alguien estaba poniendo algo.
Exacto.
Now that's coming from the room, or do you think that's somebody coming up and down the stairs?
Que eso era, te lo identificó como
Del
eso
cuarto.
venía del cuarto específicamente,
Sí,
o
del
piensa que
cuarto.
maybe era alguien subiendo por las escalas.
No, del cuarto.
She said no, it's specifically the room.
Okay. And just to clarify, you don't know where Jen was Sunday night.
Solo para clarificar, usted no sabía dónde estaba Jen el domingo por la noche.
So you don't know if Jen was upstairs or downstairs.
No sé.
Okay.
Pero Jen, o sea, la verdad Jen siempre estaba acá abajo. O sea, yo
Que
no.
usualmente se la pasaba.
Sí.
So usually Jen would be downstairs normally. So.
Okay. This may be a weird question, but
Quizás no sea
when
una
Jen
pregunta
would be
extraña,
sleeping, do you hear snoring or anything like that to make sure she's in there?
pero cuando Jen estaba dormida, usted la oía ella roncando o algo que indicaba que ella estaba dormida o
No, ella no ronca.
she said she didn't snore. So.
No, ella no ronca. Nunca llegué a escucharla. Pero sí sé que se quedaba dormida profunda.
So she never heard her, but she knows that she would go into like a deep, very deep sleep.
Okay. Would the light be on or off at night?
Cuando ella
Sí.
Okay. If Jen is awake, would the light be on or off?
si
puedes
Jen,
repetir?
si Jen estaba despierta, la luz se mantenía prendida o apagada.
Con el televisor prendido más que todo.
So mainly
sea, si
the
estaba
TV
despierta,
would
era-
be on if she was awake.
Y esa noche que llegué estaba
That night
apagado
when
todo.
That night when she came, everything was off.
Okay. What about upstairs? Was the light on or off in Stephan's room?
Estaba prendida la luz.
So the light was on and stuff on too.
Okay. When you came down for breakfast the next day, was this light on or off
Para el desayuno el siguiente día,
in Jennifer's room?
si la luz
Yo apagada.
estaba apagada. Off.
Off. Okay. Would that mean Jen's still sleeping or gone?
No sé.
You don't know.
No tengo idea.
Okay. At what point did you leave this townhome Monday? Like, go outside?
¿A qué hora usted salió de aquí el lunes?
El lunes como a las 3:40 de la tarde.
Físicamente se fue de aquí.
Sí.
Around 3:40 me dijiste?
Como 3:40 más o menos. Y
Around 3:40 p.m.
y él estaba acá.
And he was here.
Me despedí de él y todo.
She said goodbye and left.
Okay. Was Jen's car outside when you left?
Yo creo que no recuerdo. Yo creo que no
Doesn't
estaba, no
recall.
recuerdo. No recuerdo. Pero yo no la escuché a ella acá.
But she didn't hear her here.
Where would Jen keep her, like, car keys?
¿En dónde mantenía las llaves del carro?
En su cuarto, nunca
They were
acá.
never out here in her room.
Okay. Did you ever see Natalie on Monday?
Que si yo vi a Nathalie el lunes, no. Nathalie salió temprano.
Natalie left.
Sí,
Yeah, I
sí.
really saw that.
Ella siempre sale más temprano.
That she
Siempre
would
sale
always leave
temprano.
earlier than her.
Okay. Have you talked to Jennifer since all this happened?
Que si has hablado con Jennifer desde que todo esto pasó.
Claro,
So, of course,
estoy con ella apoyándola, por supuesto.
supporting her.
Okay. How's her demeanor now?
¿Cómo se ve ella? ¿Cómo aparenta ella?
Ella está mal.
She's bad.
Ayer estábamos conversando y no podemos creer que esto esté pasando.
They were talking yesterday and they couldn't believe this was happening.
Did you see any of the interviews on the news?
¿Usted vio algunas de las entrevistas en las noticias?
Algunas sí.
She said some.
Okay. Is the way Jennifer is talking, is that normal for her?
La manera que Jennifer estaba hablando en esas entrevistas, eso es normal, la manera que ella
Like her tone?
habló en esas entrevistas, el tono.
No, yo la veo, ella siempre que está, o sea, ella estaba, yo la veo en esa entrevista como ida, como la verdad.
She sees her in interviews as kind of far gone, like just distant.
When did she start seeing that type of behavior?
¿Cómo ese comportamiento, como cuando se empezó a ver eso? O cuando se dio cuenta que ella empezó a actuar así.
Pero
Desde que
de
ella
ese
se-
mismo día, ¿o me estás preguntando?
Se me dice que usted la vio en la entrevista, que estaba como que distante de cuando empezó a notar eso, que empezó eso.
No sé, es que yo llegué esa noche en la casa y ella estaba llorando. O sea, Ida no estaba en ese momento, él sí.
She said that night she saw that she was obviously upset.
Y ella solo lloraba y me decía, mi Mari se perdió.
Right.
Mi Mari está perdida.
And then she would just say, Maddie's lost.
Did she ever, when she takes medicine, does she act the same way or any different?
Cuando ella toma el medicamento, ¿ella actúa de alguna forma diferente o...?
Siempre dice que los tiene que tomar para poder tranquilizarse. Y sí me he dado cuenta porque ella sufre mucho como de ansiedad. Ella,
She always says that she takes the medicine to calm herself down. She suffers from anxiety.
incluso cuando salíamos juntas, a veces le daba temor estar fuera de casa.
Sometimes when they would get out, she would be scared to be out in public and stuff. Kind of like anxiety.
Entonces le daba mucha ansiedad y siempre sí noté ese comportamiento como
She would always
como
note that type of behavior.
de ansiedad, de...
Like anxious behavior.
Okay. All right, just so I'm clear, if Jennifer's home and awake, the light would be on in her room.
Solo para aclarar, si Jen estuviera presente aquí en la casa, la luz estaría prendida.
No, pero el televisor sí prendido.
So, no, but the TV would be on. If Jen,
Si
you're
está
asking if Jen was
despierta,
here,
si ella está despierta,
see if
el
she's
televisor
awake,
está
the
prendido.
TV would be on.
Okay, and if she is asleep, she
Yeah,
only
so-
sleeps here,
Y ella solo duerme aquí
and the lights would be off.
y todas las luces estarían apagadas.
Sí.
All right, and when you got home at 11:30 on Sunday night, those lights were off.
¿Me puedes repetir?
Cuando usted llegó esa noche a las 11:30, las luces estaban, todas las luces
Aquí estaba apagado.
y el televisor.
Sí, yo no escuché el televisor.
So all the lights were off and she did not hear a TV.
Okay, but the room where Stephan stays, the lights were on.
Pero el cuarto donde estaba Stephan,
La luz estaba prendida y los sonidos que yo escuchaba.
the lights were on and she was hearing the noises.
Okay, so between 11:30 and the time you fell asleep, excuse me, between 11:30 and the time you fell asleep, did you ever come back down here?
Que si desde las 11:30 que llegaste hasta cuando te quedaste dormida
Yo no escuché las escaleras que él bajara.
y usted bajó aquí para alguna
No,
cosa.
yo no bajé. O sea, yo ya me acosté a
She
dormir.
did not hear anybody on the stairs and she did not come down here either.
Did she ever go to the bathroom?
Se levantó a ir al baño.
Durante la noche no.
No.
Okay, so when you got home, Did you ever go to the back and forth to the bathroom after you got home?
After she got home.
After she got home, did she ever go back and forth to the
Usted
bathroom?
llegó a la casa. Que si usted, antes de que se dormía, si fue al baño o si bajaste.
No. Yo usé el baño cuando llegué, me duché, me arreglé, me cepillé y yo luego entro a mi habitación y yo no bajé las escaleras de nuevo. Me quedé en mi habitación.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you again. I may have to talk to you another time, if that's okay.
Gracias, que quizás en el futuro tendría que hablar con usted otra vez.
Okay. This interview will be concluded at 1:50 p.m.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stearns,
an inmate at
Osceola County Corrections Department.
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Stephan,
Hey,
where the hell you been?
I've been trying to call. They've had us on lockdown so often. Every time I've asked them, we've been on a Code 5 lockdown.
Okay.
Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too.
So you've been on lockdown all this time?
Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down. It's probably more to do with understaffing.
Okay. How you been?
Well, you know, had the world's shittiest birthday present, so...
Yeah. And then you didn't call, so I'm assuming because of changes that they prevented you from calling?
No, they were actually moving me around a lot, shuffling back and forth, so I was having to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth, which takes a little while. And then, like I said, the days that I was asking, we happened to be on lockdown on those days. So it's just been inconvenient.
Okay.
Very inconvenient timing, and then we were on lockdown all weekend. I wanted to call my mom's birthday. I tried to call yesterday. I tried to call Saturday, and it was no go anytime. So, but I've been wanting to call. How have you been?
I'm trying to put this on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on speaker. Okay.
How have you been? Can you hear me?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes. Is Mom there with you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Stephan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is Mom with you?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Stephan,
You can hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, that's on speaker.
Okay. Is Mom there?
Yes, mom's with me now.
Okay. Happy birthday, belated birthday, Mom, and happy belated Mother's Day.
Hi, sweetheart. I was so hoping to hear from you. I'm so glad I'm hearing from you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to call you all weekend. They had us on lockdown, so no one was able to do anything.
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
The murder charge.
Oh, well, we know you didn't.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, it's not true. You know, I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so, you know, premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if you had any updates or anything.
Nope, we haven't heard a thing. Just, you know, speculation that she's been
Hiding
put in an institution and hiding in an institution.
at her lawyer's request.
Yeah.
I mean, are you cooperating with police about her participation in any of this stuff?
there's been no opportunity for me to cooperate with anything. As I understand, the police keep saying that I'm uncooperative, but they haven't asked me anything to cooperate with, so whatever that means.
So your attorney isn't approaching them and saying, my client would like to speak with you?
No, my attorneys are pretty much saying to keep my mouth shut until the trial starts.
Well, okay.
Okay. I don't know why they were going to wait till the trial, but that's their business, not mine.
They don't want anything to hurt my chances.
Yep, understand. Okay.
Hey, what was Joey's last name?
Beltry?
Yeah, Veltri.
Joey Beltry? Beltry?
Beltry.
Beltry or Beltry?
Veltri with a V, like victory.
V.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, it's basically, obviously this confirms that they're artificially inflating everything up as high as they can possibly do it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know
what'll stick.
What the plan is there, if they're just trying to scare me into pleading down, or I don't know.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're just trying to hurt me as much as possible.
Are you able to share the Saturday night before you left for Kissimmee? You were pretty upset about something. Did they have to do anything with Kissimmee in the events that took place the next couple of days?
No.
Okay.
No, I was just stressed out about money and job and everything like that.
Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
Oh, okay.
And we were very happy that I was there. We were very happy that the three of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. You know, there's no reason for anything to happen that happened.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early in the morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around.
Okay, understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah. Well,
And we know.
okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Okay.
And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
Okay. I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there, and then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously haven't seen you since.
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe we could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice. But certainly, under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation with the appropriate authorities or get an attorney or something. But be that as it may.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
Well, we got a copy of your birth certificate for Sheila Marino and for your case. We're trying to get hospital records from the TBI, but Sarasota Memorial says you were never a patient there, so that's ridiculous because we know you were.
yeah. And were you able to find my Social Security card?
Yes.
Good. I presume it was probably in that mouse toy box with everything?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
It's in my, it was,
No, I don't recall where it was, but it wasn't. It
Okay.
wasn't there. But
I don't remember if you had confirmed or not. Were you able to find my watch?
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
So
there was no popcorn box.
Little silver mouse
we already
toy.
had your social security card. So why did you think we needed? I already knew your number. I don't. Why did you think we need to find the card?
Just in case I was going to need it in the future.
Okay. Well, we have that.
How long I'm going to be here, or if or when I'll ever be released, or if you guys are going to be around at that point. But birth certificate, social security card might be things I'll need in that case.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either, so.
Yeah.
And that, I guess that's everything sticks.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
Oh, you didn't start it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad as not starting it, but that's for another day. Again, I don't know if
details or anything, but, I mean, if you'd like to schedule a visit with me or something, maybe we can find some way to talk.
I don't know. I think we're always going to be recorded, so there won't be an opportunity to do that. Now, we have to make arrangements for you to sign off on a power of attorney so we can do something with this car.
Yeah.
And I would have to bring a document over. They won't even let me see you. I would just hand it to the classification officer. He would bring it in, you'd sign it, they would notarize it, give it back to me, and I would leave.
Okay. I think I just got the 1-minute warning.
Okay.
So yeah. Give them whatever you need, and I'll sign whatever I need to sign. In the meantime, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
All right, I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, I appreciate it.
That could change, but right now, for the next 30 days, we are definitely in lockdown.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, all right. I'll try to get over there within the week to get the POA taken care of.
Okay. There's a 15-minute cool down before I can call back. I'll see if I can call back again. If not, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay. All right. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
On February 24th, 2025, the trial of Stephan Stern's child assault charge will start, and on September 22nd, 2025, the trial of the slaying charge will start. To view more details of this case or to view the interview of Jennifer Soto and Stephan Stern's, click on the links in the description. Keep your eye on our channel for updates by subscribing.